umpire to be right and again trying to keep it in there. Looking for a target in Kelly. Brown's jumping in, picked up there by over, and the ball's going to come out. Good charge, Jared Wright. On the top to Chris Penalty, who not a great tackle. What push does he kick? Get a downfield free kick, looking to he's got it. It'll be Caleb half forward. Said play on, leading it. And Weatherald couldn't get it. Just
it's going to be very interesting to see whether
thrown back in. Right one. Eventually though they got a clearing kick and take a mark, and eventually got a fist with fine. Plays diving in there. Then inside 50 high ball on St. Philippe. In fact, McGettigan, and it's kick, and they'll bring it back in.
Takes the mark deep in defence. And eventually ball will move it forward. That Monaghan force between half forward and silver.
Obviously Noble Park has the talents of Sam Monaghan. Team up this afternoon.
One out of the tap, uncontested there. Squeeze boot, kick into the middle of it. Tries to evade a couple of whoopee. To O'Regan towards centre half. Big speed paid for a high tackle. And it's going to go the way of BALWYN for... In fact, it's going to go Bulls. First touch for the afternoon. One inside 50 for BALWYN. Defensive kick. So the first afternoon. Wills into ball, won't quite make the distance. Paid on the chest to Blake Broadhurst on a very acute angle out from goal.
Oh, got to the ball. They probably should have got a fist. Might be able to kick their first goal.
On the left foot, swings around. Empire only a minor score. The game registered for BALWYN. They're one score as the rain continues to pad.
The ball from tram tracks off. And exactly so. Big huddle forms at the 40 metre. Just going to go long, short to a bevy. Did Sam Monaghan try to get it to work to Kelly? He lost the floor. Bills out about 60 around.
Be interesting to hear from our Kieran. A breeze blowing across the ground.
Oh, not really, boys. The rain going sort of straight down. There's no...
What's one? The Tabit came out of the back. Marco, he'll get it in centre square. Off to Charlie Hendry. He's got a lovely across to Madison and Hardham, and he directly in front. He's pointing to. No, gives it off to the big man. Dice there. No, it's going to be. Got a good mark taken in the end. And Noble Park are able to save a goal. 5 minutes here in the first turn. Play was a risky kick. Madison Hardham has got it over the top. A bump came there from right. Under pressure, they'll just get it there. Couldn't get it in the end. It's going to win.
Here's a chance now for the Tigers. Around Milkhues and fumbles. Consequence, Noble Park have it open. The 50, racing after it is Kelly, can wheel around onto the and Noble Park they move on to one behind on the Bendigo Banks. Wayne Brasher.
Yeah, Park unfortunately for John, but well done there. Opportunity, and running goal.
Brash that forward. That big knock on by Ryan. He's shaking up Broadhurst down there and out of the half back line.
Very right.
That's
Very
all,
solid.
That's all I got to do. It's a good start here. It's going to come down in favour of Taylor Gill. Towards and the 40. A good mark. He's taken in the air. Mark Johnston. He's got it now. Which not quite sure. Play on in the end. So he's got pressure to the commentary side instead there takes a one-handed mark. Done more in the end. Came over the top. Was 5 metres around from.
They're looking very low. No, they haven't scored a major yet, Baird.
Yeah, tonight's got him playing. He's dropping line of the BALWYN side.
I couldn't do much there. High free kick looks to be going right down the horse road end of the ground.
That's Noble Park, Braden.
Sorry, yes, Noble Park has got the free kick. My mistake. Over the top. Good mark taken there by Daniel Keeley. He's got it 30 out from his own goal. On manning the mark, Henry feverish jumping about. It's a short kick. Oh, right there, boy. He's got it now. Regressed far out of their back half. Closing in, short kick by Daniel Keeley. Ran himself into trouble. Now BALWYN really pressed. Quick kick comes out, and it is side. It's one behind. Noble 1 straight 6.
Quite obviously to me that Noble holding it up.
Oh, Plyman's turn off inside defensive. Goal, almost a card. Has been taken by Mark. A shot.
Yeah, look, from the kicking costly here.
O'Regan from 5-degree angle right behind. And BALWYN register there 1 to 8. 1 straight 6 on
Up until this stage though, boys, a lot of possession of the ball there, and then they were able to take the ball. And as I said, John up the ground as far as possible, and good panic type of play.
Grant Campbell
inside ball. We've got some good 50 tackles.
Just waiting for the umpire to go up. On the end, got a strong fist on there. Was good tackle there. Mary ball up. About 10 minutes played. We'll be happy to say that it came straight out of the good marks taken by Hardeman. He'll look on the left. Oh, lovely chiseling ball. A mark is pocket just in front of the Noble Park. First who has it, he'll go back. And on a wet day, 2 metres, so shouldn't have any issues. It's out to the right hand side, it'll stay and it'll bounce out and it's on the outer side, 5 metres around.
It's quite obvious with you know, ball when they want to move the ball, holding it up.
No, that's probably
right. Came out of the park. Inside, 1 behind. 3-9, leading Noble. 7 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
high position, chip. For it because if they turn the ball over.
We'll turn it over and cost themselves a goal.
The designated kicker said area, no mark, it falls out at the back. And Bree gives the hand pass back. The kick was smothered. Now no ball. A good chain of hand passes. Ball falls to ground level. And now Noble Park have possession. Kick looking for and about 70 metres around from goal. tried to boot to the ball and it over. Chance now. Bit of a fumble, just a scrap. About 45 metres.
It's not that wet, but the thing is, the game, both teams trying to take the game. The efficiency is horrible at the moment.
Tap one for BALWYN. Dill pass back and it's hacked for by Fraser. Bypasses a couple of players. Got the hand pass back and now through Johnston. Johnston for his teammate Brian going back forward and now no but he's fumbled it. Let's head down to the boundary line. Care to Tim Cotton.
Yeah, I'm going to at the wind. I reckon BALWYN have got a...
So, on the hill, over the back. In the back, probably should have got one of the M4. Again, good tackle laid by Sanford. Got a high free getting back in Noble Park. They're not going to muck around, they're going to head. For Anderson, couldn't do much, had to... BALWYN have got numbers again. Gottliebson, it's going to work. Dropping the footy, no umpire says target tried to find Monahan, came in quick. Some time back to Monahan, he's under pressure every day of the week. And we're not happy about it. Bit of argy-bargy going.
Two passages of play where Noble chances with clear possession of the ball. Eagles have let them down badly.
25 and Mitch needs a bow. He goes down in the mud pot. Got a bit of a great kick. In fact, it's horrible. Trainers 55 out.
Surprise, boys, with the so far. Just the kicks off the boot.
Conditions aren't that bad, are they? No. They're certainly not bucketing rain or anything.
Importance of both is showing through already.
So the ball for BALWYN. The tap was won by laid there by Hardeman. Just waiting to see if it disposes later for the pack. It can't, so it'll be a good crowd in at SEM between these two clubs. Motion once again. Hand pass comes looking for a teammate in Gilchrist at 40 metres around. Let's head to Grant Campbell with
Noble Park leading the hit-outs 11. This is 8-5.
So the ball is foot on the outer side of it. A number of taps. No one can quite get it back. Eventually it's kicked forward by Kidd on the half-back flank. Can the Bulls muster up here? Wentz kick into the middle. Looking for... Go, move it forward with the open pass. Looking there for Peter Ryan. Good hand pass. Shot on goal. A bit of a gimme there in the hand. And a minor score. So to 117. And on the Bendigo Bag scoreboard.
And that was Noble Park, 40 metres out. And he can't kick the goal.
Just gets it back now. Was put on there by not a particularly good kick. It's going to take a good mark taken there by gave the handball off to his team. He's all Noble Park plays. Mark Johnston. This is Noble getting the ball forward. It's in the hands. Muck around, a good kick by Darren. Gave the handball off, looking to take it on. Bit of pressure though. Smell the end, it's going to be play on ball. 40 for no. And followed up there, depending on where.
We just saw some glimpses of really good. When they're right on their game, like swallowed that.
I'll come back to Peter right in a second. Leon had to be dropping the ball again. Let it go. You'd expect to see that affair. Look to be a kick. It's going to go the way of Noble Park. Quickly before the BALWYN players get indeed, and now they're Otherwise, handball off the big man in Peaver. Oh, the top of the square. Allen's there. Oh, come on. Free kick. Advantage has again. So, talk us through that one. Fruit there.
The free kick face. The umpire touched a bit high.
Well, Jared had right at Allen. I thought it was.
Yeah, to say John Knight would be pretty. It's showing so far. And hit their target. They're going to cause problems.
So just surpassing the serve. It's Noble Park leading by the Tigers. The hand pass comes out to O'Reilly towards half forward. The ball over the boundary line will have a throw in 60 goal.
Brasher been very big run for Noble Park. And also very
he's deceptive.
He'll tap on that occasion, right? It's a high ball. Tennis club next door. 60 metres around from there. So you just get the sense the Tigers are make disposal errors. Spears it inside the 40. Touched off the boot. Hand pass. He fumbles. Goebels in the pocket by Keeley. And eventually to a stoppage. Will allow the bounce deep.
I actually reckon the centres throwing the team structures there.
It's won the tap. Hardeman gets the hand pass. Immediately done there. The tackle. Hand pass comes out to the here for the Tigers towards centre half. Mark has been taken there by line up the leads himself. He's got a couple of line, but he's got the confidence to go. So Churgwin, 50 run onto the trusty left. Comical. Laid there by Kepperman. And it forces the ball up.
That's what I was trying to say. He's having problems with structures and disposal.
I think Noble Park. But Noble Park are prepared.
That's an Hardeman try to grab it out of the kick for Noble. Got it away to a. In the end, they see it over the. Done well. Just get it out of that. I'd have to be happy to play 20 minutes lead here. Not a particularly long quarter, and you expect famous players struggle to cope at the moment. What's one of plays right with Zoe as got little to the centre of the ground. Anderson looked to get position, did well to get a fist on it in the end. Was all over. Digital picking it up there is Monaghan. 4 BALWYN players. Again, did well, the ball players. Henry here's the call to it's well done there, Kamer. And Noble, they're up. Going on at the moment. We'll have a throw in 5. Noble goalmouth kicking to the right. Brand Campbell with a choose tap.
Played the inside 50s 9-8.
The pressure that the Noble Park forward.
Back into play. Around off the ground, a little kick. To the right hand side. On green, it's 1 behind. 21 minutes here in the first. By 5 points.
The Australian World Cup squad. But out of defence through cross. Tip pass, Gilchrist. He's played there by Stuart Kemperman.
Should have been reported.
65 metres around from the side, thanks to Akira urgent care.
Yes, guys, both teams aren't adapting too much. They just got to kick it long.
Bounce. So, around as I mentioned, from the Bulls, avoid the loose man there, still in the hole. Godleapson and the balls, and we'll have yet another bounce. Pedestrian type game, this one. What came over the top with a tab? Still a play. Hand pass comes out. Tackle, but turned it over. In the pocket, looking there for McGann. Back there by Watts, in fact. And the ball in the four-pack.
The thing I like about Noble Park, lowering their eyes, they're not just bombing.
Back into play. For Noble Park, roves his own. Yet another bounce.
One of the things, their forward line, forward capable.
23 minutes played. I'll give you some reward for it. Great tense, he's been McCarthy, good tackle, over the forward 50, just almost a free, got it back, Campbell, just in time, it's going to come out of Taylor, the line just in front of our and the fans are very pleased with the EFL.
I get the impression that the ball, they're going to hit them when they get it. Very hesitant.
They're right under the pump here.
Back in the goal square just to make sure. He came out from McMahon on the left foot. And he's done there by and he's got it on a couple of metres in front. Riders, he's not too sure what to do. About 3-on-1 in favour. There, he didn't do a great job. Got a high tackle against him there for a second, the big man. Out of the week, sure. There, but he's got it, but he sees it over, and it'll be a throw in 40.
And both these sides are Alwyn now, who are very hesitant when they
Yes, he had Park Wright's body was to the ground, and we shoot 35 metres around for the ball. But Noble Park certainly have they're in intensity. The levels have been
terrific. Noble Park with their back line in.
It was a kick out of the pack, but eventually the wobbly kick inside the Anderson at the front. Chance here. Hand pass out to Taylor Gilchrist. Fumbled by McCutcheon in the end. Forced over the boundary line in footy club, and we've paid first turn.
We've spoken about the Park side putting the pressure on the ball, and Six is filling the hole as well.
Gang tackled. It's quite Noble Park win the footy. Door was in a 1-on-1. Time just now for the Bulls. Ball applied there. Godleapson. Got a kick into the glue pot. Here it is. Park again having the numbers. Where's McCarthy? Got the hand pass. Spearing ball was a good one. In Bull. So Bull to 40, and the mark take the acute angle. But plays going to be difficult.
You know, Damian on the 40 metre.
So Chris Horton is here at SC, shooting from about 45 metres in a very acute angle. This could be a team lifter on the Chris Horton Mill. To the goal square, the punch can trickle through for a behind. At Noble Park, they move on to 2-2 in 139 on the Bendigo Banks. Boundary riders, thanks to Akira Urchi.
Guys, Noble Park are completely square, the corridor. They look really good, I think.
They're looking to take the game on. Took in the end. It was long, there's no one back there except taken on the second attempt. Deep in the right forward. And he's got screaming for the mark. It heads in that direction in the end, but just goes. Sorry, it's Sean Cross who cut off there. Noble going to bring it back. Fumbled it. 40 mark taken, one juggler. He's got 42. He's got a target. He's going to go to his man. Do much, doing a bit of his own ground war. On Jared Churgwin. Campbell gets it away. They've got space if it stays. Oh, they were away there, boy. Back in Noble and probably have one last 7-minute mark of the first quarter.
The end of the free kick. He flew high, couldn't quite kick, but nothing doing. We'll have a really pressing in this.
On between Door and Pendlebury.
Yes, no. From the front, Watts won the tap for the ball. Fishing in there. Park as Liam Kidd, but the ball not. Another stoppage deep inside the ball.
Set that wall up across.
Watts won the tap from behind. He lays the hand pass off. The Bulls, but again, it must be there. It's gone out of the full the defensive zone to be taken by.
Play really for the last 10 minutes. Fortunately, haven't been
but they haven't been able to capitalise here. Move it forward, trying to work out of basing after it on his green. Eventually, it's forward at centre wing for the ball.
Stats
inside here. Noble Park.
28.5. John Knight will be very pleased. Somebody doesn't want to let Galeko. Sam Filippo got it from McMahon. And came against Kelly in the throw in, will it?
No,
yes. So that's a silly free. And it'll go to tight in the pocket, similar angle to where about 15 minutes ago when he pushed it. And some Noble Park trainers, some rubbing equipment there. So after a siren, it starts just off to the left-hand side. And at quarter time, Damo, can you go with
Noble Park leading 2-3, 1-4-10 at quarter time.
Intriguing first quarter. A bit of argy between the two sides. Been involved. Players begin to break up at half. 5-point lead to Noble. The goal against kicked one for BALWYN. Was Tim Kelly. Quarter time. It's certainly been. Well, they lead it by 5 points. We'll take EFL Gameday.
It's straight to immediate medical treatment and you for a max
through ball, got a short chip pass forward and the mark has been taken by Shane Allen, who's kicked one of the 2 goals registered for Noble Park in this game. Allen of course kicked 6 2 weeks ago against Blackburn in a losing effort. It was a brilliant pinpoint pass, finding his leading teammate out there in Brett Dorr, who needs to regain some form, Wayne Brasher.
Yeah, he does, but he's a dangerous player on his date, Brett Dorr. He's the key to Noble Park this afternoon. If he can get on top and kick 3 or 4 goals, it could go a long way to setting the Bulls on victory.
Well, he certainly is an intimidating focal point up forward for the Bulls. Brett Dorr, a lumbering player, was brilliant on that lead, read the play well, and he has a shot now from just outside the 40-metre arc. A cute angle, but it shouldn't trouble Brett Dorr. That's a brilliant kick off the left foot, straight over the goal umpire's hat, and Noble Park register their 3rd goal for the game. They move on to 3-3-21, leading BALWYN 1-4-10 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Early going second term.
Yeah, look, that was great play there by Noble Park. They, you know, after their missed opportunities in the first quarter, they had to get the first goal in their second quarter, and they certainly did that. And big Brett Dorr, he's, as Brash said, he's one of the key players down there. Not only is he presenting as a forward, but he's also throwing his weight around and showing them that he's certainly there for a reason.
Very pleased with the first 30 minutes of this game with John Knight. We're back in the centre of the ground. Rennie Watts brought it to ground in the end, and he might get it. No, it's a holding the ball free kick. That was a bit of an odd one. It's going to go the way of Peever right. He's not going to muck it around. Heads to the outer side. Missing his target, just bounced short and over the head of Brett Dorr for a throw-in. Timmy Cotton, when you get the chance, can you just let us know who's wearing number 2 for Noble Park this afternoon, please? That would be great.
And number 12 as well.
And number 12. We believe it might be Tim McKelly wearing 12. We just want to double-check that. But number 2 isn't on our team sheet as we wait for the umpire to bring it back in just in front of the tennis courts on the outer side of the ground. Ball back into play. Third man over the top was Mount Monaghan, but it's going to work here. High ball. It's going to be a goal. It is a goal. What a sensational kick. Looked to come out of nothing, and McGettigan's just pulled it out of the ruck and kicked their 4th. What a start here for Noble Park. They have gone very nicely on to 4-3-27. Baldwin a 1-4-10. 2 minutes played, Benny Obank scoreboard.
Yeah, that was costly for Baldwin there. From the boundary throw-in, they brought the ball into the corridor, and big Peter McGettigan, look, he just bumped his opponent off the ball and snapped it over his shoulder, and Noble Park, they're flying in this second quarter.
They certainly are, Ray Baird, and I'm sure to many EFL pundits it's almost an upset at this stage of the match. Of course, there's a long way to go, but Noble Park looking very, very good and thriving in these conditions. So they lead 4-3-27 to Baldwin at 1-4-10. Peter McGettigan's first major, giving the Bulls a 17-point break early in this second term as we're back underway. Wright won the tap for the Bulls, falls to ground level, but Mahn's been moved into the centre to great effect. Chance now for the Tigers as they move it forward, but brilliant evasion through the traffic. Gathering it there was Bull at centre half back, looks out wide, and the mark has been taken by McCartney. Quickly they move it forward here, the Bulls. The kick missing the target in Horton Milne as he runs after it, but to no avail as the boundary line beats him. We'll have a throw in about 70 metres around for the Noble Park goal, outer side at SEM Park.
Luke Ball is playing extremely well on Taylor Grillcrest in that back line. He's providing a real headache for Coach Donati.
Watts won the tap for Baldwin, but only as far as Anderson. Swings it round his body, deep towards full forward. Dorr, great body work. Won the hand pass, gets it out to his teammate, and a snapper goal. Stuart Kemperman has registered another. The Bulls certainly experiencing a purple patch. They move on to 5-3-33, leading Baldwin 1-4-10 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. What a turn-up, Ray Baird.
Look, they're on fire, Noble Park, at the moment, but the big difference, what they're doing in this quarter, what Baldwin didn't do in the first quarter, is they're going down the corridor. They're using the corridor at every opportunity, and that's giving their forwards every chance of scoring.
Got to just keep taking the game on now because Baldwin don't seem to be much of a match as we wait for the umpires to bring it back in, and they'll just be pleased. They probably they're winning the hit-outs in that first term, but not getting the clearances. It just seems to have changed around in this second term. They're getting the clearances, and they're just moving it quickly. As we're back in the centre now, Wright and Watts. Wright got it down, just missed the hands of Monaghan. Diving in the mud heap there was Daniel Keeley. Ball's going to come through and into the ball in 40. Trying to take a good mark, diving over the top there was trying to see if the ball comes out. Kick a goal is just off the left-hand side there from Blake Broadhurst. And it'll be out of bounds and a throw in 5 metres around from the Baldwin goal. Had a bit of time there, Brush. Probably should have kicked it in the end.
It probably should have, but the one best thing that Noble Park have done is they're dictating the terms on their game and have completely got Baldwin out of their rhythm.
Back into play, probably got to pushing the back there was Hardiman, but did well. Keeley got the quick kick away and a mark taken over his head there by McCartney. Did well. Just in the rough patch of grass on the outer side. Hopefully he doesn't slip again. No, good kick over the top. Just missed the target in there off the feet there of Pendlebury. Players diving in there was Kempman of the Stewart variety trying to pick it up, but actually it's feeded out to Chris Pendlebury into the centre, misses his target on the bounce, picked up, and it's going to come out there to Keedle. Got it away in the forward 40, misses the target. That's what Noble are doing well at the moment. It's cut off well by Mark Johnson, and they'll look to rebound off half-back.
Noble's midfield are working exceptionally hard and putting pressure on the Baldwin side.
So Johnston, significantly big pass towards half-forward. Going up there in the contest was Watts. Got the hand pass out for the Tigers. It's moved towards centre wing. Racing after it is Weatherall for Baldwin. Got his player to the front position. Hardiman, Gottliebson. They work it out with a chain of hand passes. Hendry back to Hardiman. Breaks the tackle. Good evasion. Swings round onto the right foot. Inside the attacking 40. At the front. No mark. Broadhurst. The hand pass comes to cross. Big chance here for Go Bulls. Weaves around. Couldn't quite get the hand pass away effectively. And again the Bulls move forward on the counter-attack. They're doing it well in defence. Chance now for Keeley towards centre wing. It's going to be chopped off for the Tigers there by Keedle. Lost possession. Chasing after it there is goes ball for the Bulls. Eventually the hand pass comes back. Monahan, Anderson, they move it forward through the corridor. Anderson, a floating ball towards full forward. It's off target and it bounces out of play deep in the fore pocket for Noble Park.
Damian, that was probably Noble Park's best play of the day. They took the ball, they created a turnover from Goebel's indecision, ran the ball down. Even though they got a boundary throw in, it was their best play. The movement was fantastic.
But Brash, once they went over the centre line, they went to the corridor again, which is what they got to do.
So a throw in deep inside the 40 for Noble Park. Winning the tap there was Watts from behind for the Tigers. Forces it to ground level. Brilliant tackle applied there by Gilchrist, and eventually we'll have a bounce still 30 metres around for the Noble Park goal. Certainly the Bulls gaining the ascendancy early in the second term. Can the Tigers respond? That's the big question. Still early going in this match. Here come BALWYN Ward again, but the hand pass was intercepted there by Bull for Noble Park, and it's bounced through for a goal at right angles. Noble Park with another. They move on to 6-3-39, leading BALWYN 1-4-10 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. A 29-point margin. A great goal to Luke Bull.
This is already looking panic stations here for BALWYN here. They just don't seem to. They've got no rhythm. The Noble Park forward line and midfield are working exceptionally hard and putting pressure.
Tim Cotton boundary.
Not even allowing them a cheap run through here.
So for Akira Urgent Care, Tim Cotton on the boundary.
Just an update on the rain situation. There's nothing at the moment, but I've got a feeling it's just going to be on and off all day. And there is certainly a wind picking up towards Noble Park's way.
So Noble wouldn't mind that. If the rain did pick up, we've got a free out of the centre going the way of Noble Park, and Pever Wright gives it off to captain in Anderson. He's got a lovely kick and a mark taken there, almost played on and thought about there. And in the end, they do. Banana comes round. Oh, it's another one. They picked another one. And McCartney has just sold a bit of candy. And this is a barnstorming start to the second term. They are on absolute fire. I think they've kicked. Was that their fifth for the term now, boys?
Yep.
And they are moving along very nice. They've kicked 5 straight in 9 minutes of football. Noble Park are 7-3, 45, leading BALWYN at 1-4-10, Ray.
Go to Grant Campbell.
5 inside 50s and 5 goals for Noble Park. So how do they stop them, guys?
Well, it'll be very interesting to see how BALWYN can curb this influence.
Look, Craig Anderson, he stepped up in this quarter too. He's one of their main reasons why they're getting the ball out of the midfield.
Back in the centre, Noble Park now with a 35-point advantage, and again they win the clearance. That's been a big facet of their lead so far. Johnston trying to dribble it forward. Eventually BALWYN have the numbers. Through the corridor they move it. The quick hand pass comes to Godleapson. Now the pass from Watts. It's over the head of Hardiman. Again missing the targets here, the Tigers. Eventually it comes out the back towards the forward pocket. A high ball and a mark has been taken by Blake Broadhurst. Can he lift his side? Chip pass was exemplary. Hits the target, not 15 according to the umpire. Hendry forced to play on, moves it back with the hand pass. Kick into the pocket, looking for Hardiman. Couldn't quite take with the big Jukes. Broadhurst into the middle, and a good pass, centering ball to the hot spot, and the mark's been taken by Redwick Watts. He can go back and have a shot from 25 metres out.
Great vision there by Blake Broadhurst. He could have just blazed away, but he lowered his eyes and he hit his teammate on the chest.
Watts to settle things down for the BALWYN Football Club from 25 metres out. Not much of an angle to speak of, and no trouble at all as he registers the Tigers' second goal. They move on to 2-4-16 in arrears to Noble Park, 7-3-45 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We gone 10 minutes in this second term.
To say that BALWYN needed that goal, Ray, would be an understatement.
Look, they certainly was, Brash, but the way they brought the ball into that forward 50, it was really, at the end of the day, it was really only luck that they did score a goal, because they mucked around it, they crisscrossed, and it was only great play by Broadhurst to lower his eyes that got the result.
Well, we could be in for one of those afternoons. We know how well BALWYN can play for full 4 quarters. We'll come down to the boundary in a second. Wright got it out. Leading the chase there for the ball towards the forward 50 is Luke Bull. He got it, handball back, and a quick snap there came from Johnson towards the boundary. Mark there couldn't be taken by Sam Filippo. He's over the footy again. Handball come out. It's picked up by Pendlebury. He tries to sell a bit of candy. Kicks across the face of goal. Risky, but they can use the corridor and go here, BALWYN. They do. Oh, they missed the target again. Probably a free kick. Umpire said play on. Still in the full 50. Anderson snaps. It could go through. It will go through. And Noble are on fire. They've kicked their 6th of the second quarter. We've had 7 goals in 11 minutes. It's a wet day, but they are absolutely flowing. It's Noble 8-3-51, leading BALWYN 2-4-16 as we go boundary side for Akira Urgent Care to Esmond Aponso.
Thank you. Yeah, the Noble Park players, just an observation, very enthusiastic, caning and jeering each other off. Not so much happening with the BALWYN, which needs to happen more.
Yeah, the body language is certainly a factor here, Ray Baird. Noble Park up and about.
Oh yeah, and I look at BALWYN, they've found themselves in unfamiliar territory here, boys. Their body language is not good.
So Noble Park with captain Craig Anderson's goal placing them 35 points up. Wright again winning the tap, but it's BALWYN with the clearance on this occasion. A rolling ball towards centre wing, chasing after it and gathering it is Ryan. Gives the hand pass to his teammate and a spearing ball towards centre half forward. Madison Hardiman takes the mark, outstretched and uncontested, and he can go back and try and give BALWYN the quick reply from 40 metres out.
And one player that's really stood up for BALWYN in this quarter is Charlie Hendry. He's had a lot of possessions in this quarter, and he used the ball very well.
That was Hendry with the pass there to Hardiman. So can BALWYN provide a quick answering goal? It's what champion teams do when they're down. And from 40 metres out, Madison Hardiman obliges. Does he? No, he's hit the post. He's just clipped the post on the way through. So the BALWYN Tigers move on to 2-5-17, trailing at Noble Park 8-3-51 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
The only positive of that play, they finally got a clean entry inside 50 day where they used it well and they got it in there quickly. They need to do more of that here, BALWYN, as they try and get back into this game. Big kick came out and a mark. It's a direct turnover. Ball came out from Plymouth. Mark's been taken by Goebbels. He heads into the centre. They're just going to look to chip it around in the glue pot. Slips over. That's where you're risky there if you try and muck around with it in that centre. Kick came out and Mark's taken by Churgwin. He heads wide. It's a risky kick and the free kick's going to go the way. Oh, it might have been Gottliebson who's got it. Gives the handball off. Ball's going to come inside 50. Goebbels the target and he just dropped it. Slipped through his hands late. Calling for the ball was Broadhurst. Couldn't get a great tackle. Holding the ball in the back. And it was probably there in the end. It was either going to have to be holding the ball or in the back, and it's finally BALWYN would have got something going their way. And it's Ryan McMahon who will go back and kick from 35 metres to try and put BALWYN back within their third goal.
Unfortunately, just the carrying of the forward motion into McMahon's back by Noble Park just unfortunately gave them a free kick.
Yeah, I thought it was a great tackle by Burke there, but as you said, Brasher, it was just the momentum that probably went against him.
Must kick goal as we approach the 14-minute mark. McMahon, it's low and it is straight. It's a goal. They've kicked their third of the afternoon. They needed that one. Ryan McMahon delivers. BALWYN on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They are 3-4-22, trailing Noble Park 7-3-51.
I think Noble Park, once again, are still playing extremely well. BALWYN just need to steady a little bit more and play and enter their forward line with a bit more purpose.
Well, the last 2 minutes, BALWYN's looked a lot better, but it only takes Noble Park to get another goal on the board, and then BALWYN are back to square one.
Well, the looming black clouds above SEM Park provide a perfect metaphor for BALWYN. Can they respond when they're tested? Good hand pass from McMahon. Out to his teammate in Keedle. A high ball to half forward, and hasn't this bloke stood up? Madison Hardiman taking the outstretched mark once again overhead. He can go back from 45 metres and have a shot. A couple of steps, a deliberate approach, a high ball towards the goal square. Broadhurst in position. Mark dropped by McCutcheon, but he recovers and kicks yet another goal. The Tigers starting to get on a run. They move on to 4-5-29, trailing Noble Park 8-3-51. And all of a sudden, the pendulum might be swinging, Ray Baird, on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Look, it certainly, BALWYN have been better in the last couple of minutes, but John Knight would have been very disappointed there that one of his big men didn't get back to the square. It was left to his mid-sized defenders to go for that contest, and they just weren't big enough.
We thought this might be a low-scoring contest, considering we had 3 goals in the first quarter. We've now had, 12 for the game, so 9 goals in 15 minutes. It's a great contest, not too much defence going about. Good tackle there late as it came down. We'll have a secondary ball up as Keedle was all over, and it'll be another ball. Umpire won't muck around either. Thrown straight up, getting darker here at SEN Park. Again, ball spills out, trying to get it out, and did well there in the end. Did Bull, got it forward. Bouncing ball could work here for Noble Park. Going to come out, leading the chase, trying to pick it up there was Horton. Man, we got a free kick. It might have been going the way of BALWYN, and it is, and they can look to recover and rebound. They've got a bit of space to move it as they come to the commentary side of the ground. Mark taken, Peter Wright came over the top. Geez, the big man, he's got a target on the 40, and it'll be cut off very well. Almost Mark taken there by Ryan rather. Kicked back into the forward 50, and it will eventually be seen out of bounds there by Brett Dorr. 25 around from the BALWYN goal. We'll have a throw in.
Be very interesting, boys, to see if BALWYN can continue with this run on.
Oh yeah, Noble Park, they've just got to steady now and get the next major.
Back into play, it worked there. Over the top coming in was McCutcheon. He gets it out of sight. They're going to need to move it quickly. It's going to be picked up by Allen. He happy to see it over the boundary line and set up for another throw-in.
Interestingly, both Shane Allen and Luke Barker have really had no impact on the game so far.
No, you're dead right, Brash.
Back down, McCutcheon got it. Came out of the ruck. Quick kick. It's going to be across the face of goal, though. BALWYN might happily see it over the boundary line. They'll keep it in. Over the top came to Ryan. He got ragdolled, had to get it away quickly. Kick will come out. It's Hardeman, the intended target. Over the top, should have been a free kick against Kelly. Put the hands on the shoulder. Umpire didn't pay the mark, and the BALWYN fans are not happy at all. And we will have a ball up on centre wing.
Madison Hardeman, the law student, pleading his case as we get back underway. The tap won by Watts for BALWYN as we're on centre wing here at SEM Park. McCartney diving in, burrowing in for the ball. He's taken and claimed and will have yet another bounce. So stoppages are plenty in this game at SEM Park. Wright wins the tap for Noble Park. Off to McCartney, who won the kick. He was hard up against the boundary line. That affected his disposal, and the mark's been taken for BALWYN by Churgwin. So Jared Churgwin sends a high loping ball towards half forward. Free kick's been picked out. It's going the way of the ball, to the chagrin of the Tiger fans. And the recipient there is Mark Johnston between halfback and centre wing. You think it should have been 25?
Well, isn't it? You meant to throw the ball back on the full and it's bounced. So lucky not to get a bit further up the field there, Noble.
Yeah, valid point there, Braden.
So Mark Johnston had experience in the VFL with Sandringham, can send Noble Park forward towards the centre half forward position, looking there for Allen, who flew high, coming in from the side there, Churgwin. He was claimed, got the hand pass out to right. It was a loopy one inside the boundary line. Diving in for the football there is McGettigan. He's claimed and taken over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in, a bit of solace here on the half forward flank for Noble Park.
And it's getting darker and the temperature's dropped 5 degrees in the last 5 minutes.
Yes, we're putting our jackets on, certainly on the boundary line as well, as the ball is thrown back into play. Watts won the tap for behind for BALWYN. Taking it over the line there, Sam Filippo for the Tigers. We'll have yet another ball in. 45 around from the Noble Park goal. They're pressing.
And you can throw a blanket over 3/4 of the players on the field there. A lot around the contest.
So back into play, 19 minutes played in this second term. Noble has still got control. They lead it by 22 points. We'll have a ball up just inside their forward 40, and they'll be pretty happy with this one at the moment. Wright won it down, a pretty even tap, trying to bury his head and get through there. Looked to be Weatherall, but we'll have another ball up. This stoppage play, expect to see a lot of it, especially as the weather looks to get a bit nastier heading into this second half. But the BALWYN fans are a little bit subdued here, understandably. They would have expected probably to be up by 4 or 5 goals, not to be down by that number. Big fist forces inside the Noble 50. Great handball off. Allen can walk in and he had more time. That was sensational there from Tim Kelly. Gave it off to Shane Allen and he dropped it with one hand, and he should have kicked in the end. It's just one behind though. And Noble Park on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. They are 8-4-52, leading BALWYN at 4-5-29 for the Tuesday match stats. Grant Campbell.
Interesting. BALWYN lead the handball count 25-8. So the question is BALWYN handballing too much?
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM or streaming live on efl.org.au as BALWYN try and clear it forward. The switch play came towards centre wing and the breeze carried it over the boundary line and out of bounds right in front of the interchange gates. Wade Brasher.
The hallmark of the BALWYN game is they're to be direct. They're being forced to play the flanks at SEM Park, a ground they should know better.
Watts claimed it out of the ruck contest and threw it on his boot towards half forward. Goebbels went up with the fly, but a brilliant mark, a brilliant judgment there by Mark Johnston to take the mark between half-back and centre wing for the Bulls. Can wheel around onto that trusty right foot, hoists it high towards centre half forward. Going up there was McGettigan, fell to ground level. BALWYN have the numbers around the contest. Hand pass misdirected. Keeley fell to ground. A plethora of players diving on top of it. The tackle affected by Stuart Kemperman will have a bounce 45 metres around for the Bulls goal. So right on centre half forward here for Noble Park. Just get the feeling a goal here could almost break this game open one way or the other. It'll be a big telling factor in this match. If free kicks come out of this big pack of players, it's going the way of BALWYN, and the recipient, it looks as if it'll be Bill Hewson. Now he's given it to his teammate in McMahon. So Ryan McMahon switching the play. and the Tigers can clear it for their defensive 50.
So the man that's unmistakable, Mitch Keedle in the red boots, switched it again back out to this boundary side in front of the interchange gates. Good mark there, going over the top, judged it perfectly there to Gottliebson. Holding it up, looks to head into the centre. He's got 2 men on the mark. Don't know how that's possible, but anyway, not going to muck around. Going to head to a pack of players. Rustled out of there was Broadhurst, but in the end, a good mark taken by Hardeman. Handballed it off. It was horrible. Got smothered, and now they've got numbers out the back. Probably should have given it, but they've done well here. Dawes got to get through. Gave it off to a runner there in Johnston. Gets over the top. This is great play here. Got the ball. McCartney inboard to his captain in Anderson. Anderson dodges around a couple of players, get up on the boot and kicks it out in the full.
Gave him a rap.
1 or 2 handballs too many there by Noble Park, but the build-up was starting to look good at one stage.
Certainly taking the game on. I don't think John Knight will be too unhappy about that, considering they hold a strong 4-goal lead. It's going to go long. Leading to fly there is Barker. He did as 4 Noble Park players came over the top and crunched it over the line.
I know Madison Harbin turned the ball over there, but he can hold his head high in this second quarter because he's really kept Baldwyn still in touching distance of this game.
He's one of the few players that we've really called a lot, and it's been impressive. Pushing the back there, came against Dorr, but they got away with it, did Noble. Been plenty of push and shove here as we get a secondary ball up directly on centre wing.
So a very wet, inclement afternoon here in Melbourne, particularly at SEM Park, but the players still trying to adapt to the conditions. McCartney got the hand pass out for Noble Park out of the scrimmage. Eventually the tackle is affected there by Sanfilippo, and the ball rolls out of play right on centre wing on the commentary side of the ground at SEM Park.
You can work out what Noble Park's trying to do. They're trying to break that congestion with handballs.
That's right, but it's relatively stagnant in the last few minutes. You get the feeling the tempo has dropped a little as the umpire again calls for a secondary bounce right on centre wing. It's interesting, we're getting a lot of feedback in the last few weeks from our streaming service, interstate and even around the world. So a lot of people enjoying the streaming on EFL.org.au and of course the radio coverage on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM as we have yet another stoppage on centre wing. Umpire again sets the ball in motion. Watts wins the tap for Baldwyn, but only as far as his opponent in Monaghan moving it forward for the Bulls. The hand pass comes to Anderson from Green. They've sent it deep into attack. A brilliant play there by Crow, forcing it to ground level, but off the ground. It's waddled through for a goal by Clayton McCartney, and Noble Park registering yet another goal on the board. They move on to 9-4-58. They lead Baldwyn 4-5-29 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Gee, that's a crucial goal in the depths of the second term, Ray Baird.
Yeah, it certainly was, and once again, look, I have to mention it again, it was the work of Craig Anderson running out through that midfield, down the corridor, and it was a mistake by the Baldwyn defender there who overrun the ball, and it was a kick off the ground, and a goal that Noble Park just needed to steady the flow.
Just get the feeling from even up here we're going to hear a big Dan Donati spray at half-time where he's known for them, he's not bad at them, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see one because he's severely disappointed with the start to this game. Ball comes out to in front of our contribution. Good tackle there, laid there, almost holding the ball, dummying and trying to pick it up there is Luke Barker. Can't in the end. It's number 2, and we'll have a ball up. The crowd wanted a holding the ball free kick. Just in front of the Baldwyn interchange case of a throw. Watts was able to go up for himself, but that man Hardeman gave it out to Hendry. Handball off to Gottliebson, smothered. They just keep putting their head over the footy, and it's Tim Kelly again getting involved, and it'll be a throw-in 40 out for the Baldwyn goal. Back into play, we played 25 minutes here in this second term. Over the top, and might have some space. It can be picked up there by Sanfilippo. Lays a good tackle, ducked under it there though, did McCartney. Handball's coming out, another good tackle laid there by Chris Pendlebury. Haven't seen too much of him today, boys. He's been a little bit quiet, I would have thought. Pendlebury's had a bit of it, but that's the thing about the Baldwyn players. They haven't impacted. They might have had it, but they haven't impacted the game. No, they haven't, Braden, and like you said, could be the Dan Donati show at half-time. Yeah, well, looking forward to that one. Watts won it down to his teammate there in cross. He got tackled on hands and knees, working it out, and in the end, Kempman just got a hook kick around his body, and it's punched out of bounds. We'll have a throw in front of the interchange gates. We've played 26 minutes, and it is a 29-point lead to Noble Park approaching half-time.
So Baldwyn efficiently have doubled the score of Noble Park. In fact, vice versa. Noble Park certainly gaining the upper hand in this first half as the ball is set in motion, but again we'll have a secondary bounce between half-forward and centre wing for Noble Park. they seem to have left the forward line far more open, allowing their players to lead forward, Ray Baird.
Yeah, what they've done, as I mentioned it before, they're keeping the corridor open so the players have an opportunity to run down there.
Late chance for the Tigers in this second term as they waddle it forward through paddling as McMahon puts his head over the footy. Not rewarded, however. He's gang tackled by a couple of Bulls and will have yet another bounce about 55 metres around from the Tigers' goal. Just get the feeling some players such as Barker and Hardiman need to put their stance on the game, Goebbels as well, for the Tigers to enable them to get back into the game as another bevy of players dive on top of the footy. We have yet another bounce. It's been a very scrappy encounter at SCM Park, but Noble Park have thrived in it. As I mentioned, they lead by 29 points late in this second term. Can the Tigers come back in the second half? It remains to be seen. And a free kick's been picked out of the pack here. It's going the way of BALWYN, so a late opportunity in the arms of Sam Filippo. Looks into the pocket, a 2-on-1. Barker caught behind, gained the fist in there. McMahon is claimed by a couple of Bulls, and will have yet another bounce. 45 around from the Tigers' goal.
Damian, he's just seeing enough. That free kick to Dan Filippo. That free kick from to Dan Filippo was picked by the umpire 40 metres away.
Yes, and a free kick's been picked out once again. It's going to Noble Park. A bit of frustration exuded there from the BALWYN players, Barker among them. And the free kick going the way of Noble Park, flying high for the mark there. It looked to be Kelly.
He's been a great player in this quarter, Wayne Brasher.
Oh, fantastic quarter here by Johnson.
So the mark taken. This is Daniel Keeley with the ball in the number 2 Guernsey this afternoon. Will take it from centre half back. A long, high, hoisted ball towards centre half forward. They move out the back door. The Bulls have the numbers at ground level. He's claimed high. It'll be a free kick.
That was there.
It certainly was. He was claimed high there by his opponent in Watts, and Dorr can send a long ball across the face of the goals towards the forward pocket. No mark to McGettigan. Roving the pack is Craig Anderson. Snap on goal. He's just off to the right at only a minor score, so a late opportunity goes begging for the Bulls. They move on to 9-5-59, leading BALWYN 4-5-29 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We go on 28 and a half minutes in this second term.
And that was a Craig Anderson trademark, getting front and square at that forward contest there, but unfortunately he missed.
So keep in mind there's been 10 goals this quarter, so it's going to be a pretty long one. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a couple of extra minutes. Grant Campbell with the Tuesday match stats.
Inside 50s, 12-6 in favour of Noble Park this quarter.
So play on BALWYN, and they'll head out long to this commentary side of the ground. Flying there is Dorr, try to go up on the third attempt. He almost did, couldn't though, and BALWYN will get it out the back. It's another poor kick. It's been really an example of how they've played all day. They just haven't hit targets. Putting his head over the footy was Charlie Henry. He's wrapped up in a tackle by Anderson, and also Keeley as will have another ball up, and they're happy with these stoppages here because they've got a plentiful lead at the moment, Noble Park, and they just continue to put in. That's what we wanted to see today, effort, but not only has it been effort, it's been execution. They've had plenty of it. Missed the ball there, did Keeley, and it'll be a high free kick. He'll get it in the end, and well, we've played 29 and a half minutes, and he might just look to slow it up here as we approach half-time. He's got a short kick. It's risky, but a good mark saying they can go if they want. Gives it off to right. He's going to need to be quick. Got it away quickly to the big ruckman, and it's a bouncing free footy in the centre. Diving on it was Hendry. He got back to his feet, handed it off, and they can go. Good work there from O'Regan. Short kick. Haldeman's got a roll. He does. He can probably kick this from 50. He lined it up. There's no one in the goal square. Goebbels will lead the chase. It's a bouncing towards the goal square. It's run through nicely by the experienced head of Jared Plymouth. And it will be a throw-in as we just wait for the... behind rather, as we wait for the umpire to signal with the flags. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, it is Noble Park 9-4-58, leading BALWYN 4-6-30.
So back into play from the defence, and a brilliant effort there, diving effort from Brett Dorr, the big man lumbering forward and forcing it out of play. 60 metres around from goal. Let's head to Wade Brasher with some special comments.
I reckon one of the things that is going to come to pass here is what mentally is BALWYN thinking at the moment? What are their players thinking? They have not been in this situation too often in the last 3 years.
I'm sure the Tigers players will be content for the half-time break to come around so they can regroup as it's forced back into play, and a bit of a scrimmage and a bit of a, I suppose, confrontation behind the play. Free kick going to the Bulls as a result, and they can move it forward through Keeley. He was dumped after he kicked the footy. And fair enough, a bit of frustration being let out by the BALWYN players.
Grant Campbell with Tuesday match stats. Free kick count this quarter off for the game. No in Noble Park's favour?
9-6 this quarter. I think they've probably got about the last 7.
In the meantime, it appears as if a behind has been registered for Noble Park as the advantage was played, so they move on to 9-5-59 to BALWYN 4-6-30 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's a 29-point deficit late in the second term.
Ball back into play and looking to roll there is Henry. Gets it over the top, misses the target again there in O'Regan, but he gets it in time. Looking for Barker. He's been kept really quiet. Pushing the back will go his way, and it's against Robert Kempman. He's done a sensational job. But then again, Barker hasn't really had the delivery to get near the football. He's got it, and he doesn't have many options. He's just going to have to pop it up. Might have been touched. No, umpire's happy to let it play. And over the top, door again. He's been there all day, and he's had a great first half. He stays today on half-time. A 32-minute quarter with 10 goals. But I tell you what, John Knight will go in very satisfied with his side's first half. Dan Donati, well, he'll be in the opposite. We'll expect a few words at half-time. And at half-time, it is Noble Park, 9-5-59, leading BALWYN 4-6-30. We'll be back with the half-time break in just a second. We'll wrap it up for the Pie Shed half-time show. This is EFL Game Day between BALWYN and Noble Park.
And you'll save fuel too. Get a freeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's east. Ride Brasher, play better. Eastlink, it's time better spent.
Program sponsor. Had an accident on the field, head straight to Ikira Urgent Care for immediate medical treatment, and you won't have to wait. For a maximum of $75, we'll treat your broken bones, sprain, cut, or any other game day injury. In at 157 Salisbury Road, Veronia, or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Ikira Urgent Care. We have you off the sideline in no time. Station sponsor.
Radio Eastern 98.1. This is EFL Game Day. Barry Cott's back here in the studio. It's 23 minutes after 3 on this rather showery day. Melbourne's outer east. Currently it's sitting on a rather cold 12 degrees. And the Bureau forecast for tomorrow, Sunday, right after the Queen's birthday long weekend, it's going to be a clearing shower at 15. Gets better for Monday, the whole day. Mostly sunny 16. Tuesday, sunny 17. And also Wednesday, sunny and 18. As I said, currently 12 degrees in Melbourne's outer east. All right, before we go back for the Pie Shed halftime show, big Division 1 game this afternoon between BALWYN and Noble Park. Let's check some AFL scores. And the game this afternoon at Aurora Stadium at Launceston in Tasmania is between Hawthorn and the West Coast Eagles. And at half-time, it was Hawthorn 10-6 leading West Coast Eagles 7-5-47. It's currently the 12-minute mark of the third quarter, and it's Hawthorn 11-6-72 leading West Coast 87-55. Major goal kickers for the Hawks. Jared Roughhead is currently on 5. Dunstan has kicked 3, and Loudon 2 on debut. And for West Coast, Alice 2, Gaff 2, and 1. Now, the other game today is the Twilight game, and that gets underway at 20-5 between Port Adelaide and St Kilda over there at the Adelaide Oval. And tonight's game's at Etihad Stadium between the Western Bulldogs and Brisbane. So there you go. And we'll have further checks of AFL scores right throughout the afternoon on EFL Game Day. But coming up in just a moment, it's the Pie Shed halftime show right here at Radio Eastern 98.1.
How would you like your coffin to look?
I think maybe my wedding photo would look good.
Like HMAS Melbourne. I spent the best years of my life on that ship. Oh, a picture of me and the kids from when I was younger and they were babies.
Lots of pretty flowers.
For the Tobin Brothers funerals, anything is possible, including a custom-designed and decorated coffin to celebrate your life. To find out more, visit tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funeral. Celebrating lives.
Program sponsor.
For all things EFL, the huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the funniest things is got to get the weekend, the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, here's Glenn Archery. Welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn. Hey, guys. How you going? We're up to Dino. He's winning the league, DNF, our DNF. How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1 quarter.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
The best EFL rap on radio. Don't miss the Kira EFL Sunday. 10 till 12 every Sunday morning. 28.5 Radio. Ben Warren Smith and the team bring you all the final scores, goal kicks, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL. Gang also talk to winning coaches, players and special guests, bring you the final scores from all seniors, Thursday, 19 Here at EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy 10 every Sunday, 98.1 Radio East. For all the latest news and information on the East Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au. They continue. Let's head to local.
Yes, welcome back here to BALWYN Park and EFL Gameday. I tell you what, we weren't expecting this result or this score at half-time. It's Noble Park 9-5-59 leading BALWYN 4-6-30. I tell you what, that second quarter was one to behold. They kicked 7 goals to 3 that quarter of Noble Park and really took control. We'll have a full wrap of the first half in just a second, but we'll go through the goal kickers so far. The only multiple goal kicker for Noble Park, Clayton McCartney, he's kicked 2, followed by singles to Craig Anderson. He had a sensational first half. I tell you what, we'll go through his first half in just a second. Stuart Kempman kicked 1, as did Tim Kelly. Brett Dawes actually also kicked 2. Peter McGettigan and also Luke Bull for BALWYN. Their goal kickers, Blake Broadhurst has kicked 1. So has Rennie Watts, Ryan McMahon, Ed McCutcheon. Before we go for a half-time full wrap with Tuestat match stats, Grant Campbell.
Some of the stats in that second quarter were a bit misleading because BALWYN actually won the kicks 47-41 and the handballs 32-22. The key stat for the entire half is the inside 50s. Noble Park won that in the first quarter at 15-11. They won that in the second quarter 13-7. So for the match it's 28-18 inside 50 camp Noble Park's way. And their tackling pressure's been great all day. They won the tackle camp 21-14 in that quarter. And it's also interesting to note 8 of their 9 goals have come from general play, so they haven't been getting too many set shots at goal, but kicking very accurately from general play.
As always, Grant doing a great job for Tues Tapper. Brash, I'll start with you, mate. Wayne Brasher up here with me in the commentary position at half-time. It's a 29-point lead to Noble Park. How did you see that? That first quarter, we probably, it was a really tight game and Noble struggled. They really opened it up quite quickly in that second quarter, didn't they? They did, Braden. And the good thing about Noble Park, we started to see a bit of the Noble Park of old. Yep. They started to run the ball and they started to link well. These are the traits of a Noble Park side that get the juices running, and that's what they've done over the years. Blokes like Anderson, who's we're watching vintage Craig Anderson. He's back to his best form today. He's taking control of the midfield. He's like the general out there. Peter Wright's had a really good effort, really good in the ruck. Brett Dorr, and Mark Johnson's having a sensational game off the half-back flank. They're all working for each other, and they know the importance of the game this afternoon, Noble Park. Shane Allen hasn't really had any impact on the game, but he's still taking a good player, and he's still creating a little bit of trouble. Whilst for BALWYN, I don't know, at the moment, mentally, we know they've got the cattle on the field to get them back in the game, but now, to me, it's a question of, are they mentally capable of getting back in the game? Dan Donati's got a big job here to get them back and thinking right, because they're being forced into playing a game of football that's alien to them. They don't seem to be able to get any run through their midfield. Their back line is stagnant, and they're not putting enough pressure. Their forward line and back line are not putting enough play on their opposition counterparts, and Noble Park are allowed to run the ball out of their back line at will and create those opportunities through the midfield. Dyson Baker, you've also whacked a headset on up here. I tell you what has stood out to me, and you mentioned struggling to put it through the midfield. I honestly think it may sound silly, but that muddy ground in the centre is making it quite difficult for BALWYN to be able to play their normal style of game. Yeah, look, it doesn't help. Obviously, they would have liked it to have been covered. I was speaking to Dan Donati during the week. You were too, Braden, in saying that they would have loved it covered during the week off. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. You've got to play the cards you dealt, though, and I think there's an element of frustration creeping in. There was about 5 minutes to go in that quarter. There was a run from Shooter McMahon that
defensively he was just hammer and tong at everything, and I think that's just legitimately where BALWYN are at the moment. They're just trying to get anything that'll move it forward. He was nowhere near the footy, but had to run about 15 metres just to try and get something, basically out of frustration. They need to just, I think half-time probably came at a really good time in terms of letting them have a chance to regroup, develop, and hopefully come into the second half a little bit more fresh and a little bit more fresh in the mind as well.
Yeah, for me mentally, I don't think it's an issue, Brash, just because they're such a good side and they know that
they're not out of it.
Exactly, and they know their fourth quarter is usually their best quarter, and they'll come home with an absolute wet sail. So for me, that's not an issue. It's about whether they can cope and counter this Noble Park pressure, because honestly, in that second quarter, I only saw one occasion where they got a clean entry. It was to Madison Hardiman, got it in clean, a quick ball. I think it might have come off Hendry's boot. Other than that, the entries inside 50 were just rushed, pressured, and they couldn't find a clean way in. No,
you're right there, but that's also credit to the backline and forward line of backline and midfield of Noble Park for putting that pressure and creating those poor kicks into the forward line. That's what I mean. It comes down to working a little bit harder and a little bit smarter.
One guy who I've been really impressed with, sorry Braden, you mentioned him before, is Pever Wright. I mean, this is the first time that we've seen him out here. Obviously, a new recruit down from Dandenong Stingrays, I believe. At one stage, he was lining up on Madison Hardiman while he was resting, going back, and he just monstered him. Like, Madison Hardiman's not a small bloke, but he's so well built in the shoulders, and he's just becoming, around the ground, he's becoming quite dominant. And I think that's really important to where Noble Park are going in this game.
Yeah, well, and the thing about Noble, they always seem to have a good ruckman. That Virgin Fake who almost came from nowhere. We hadn't heard of him, and he came here and was an absolute gun. And they just seem to be able to develop that position. And in that first quarter, he was winning the hit-outs, but they weren't winning the clearances. But they started to get on top in that aspect in that second quarter. For me, BALWYN, how do they get players like Barker and even Goebbels? They probably weren't in that second game. Do they need to push up the ground a bit more just to be able to get into the game? Or is it a case of, boys, get it down there in a half-decent manner?
I think it's because BALWYN are not allowed to play the game that they want to play on their terms. Barker can't get in the game because Noble Park are not giving him the space, and they're just not giving him the space or the opportunity to get into the game.
The only ball that both of those have been able to find is up on centre wing. I mean, we saw Barker take a couple of marks, and Goebbels took that good mark, but it was up on centre wing. That's not where he's dangerous. I mean, I know it's a small ground here at BALWYN Park, but you can't afford to be taking your full forward and your key stay-at-home forward up to 60 out just to try and get a bit of ball. They need to find that sort of range, about 50 out, to try and actually put something on the board.
I think for me the key change probably came at quarter time. I think we noticed in that first quarter John Knight really wanted his troops to chip it around, find a way through the BALWYN half, but in that second quarter, would you agree, Brash, they took the game on a lot more and thought, no, we need to play on, we just need to move it quickly, and BALWYN haven't been able to match up with that.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, Braden. I said at the start of the game that Noble Park had to take chances. They had to deviate from a John Knight defensive type of game plan and throw caution to the wind. So far in the first half, you're right, they've done that and they've reaped the benefits.
Well, we're not too far away as we hear the siren. The players won't be too far out. In the end, it's a good start here so far for Noble Park. They lead it by 29 points as we approach halftime. We're going to get our last break out of the way, and then we'll be back for the second half. This has been the Pie Shed halftime show on EFL Game Day.
What vehicle would you choose for your funeral?
An old 1950s classic, just like me.
I'd love to arrive on the back of a Harley.
Oh, there's only one choice for me, a Mercedes-Benz.
At Tobin Brothers Funerals, we know you love vehicles, so we've assembled a wide choice for you and your family. So if you'd like a 1958 Dodge Hearse, our Fat Boy Harley Davidson Hearse,
Hopefully the rain holds off.
When you need medical care urgently. But at Akira Urgent Care, Australia's first walk-in medical and emergency clinic, you don't need an appointment and you don't have to wait. Walk in at 157 Scoresby Road, Baronia. Or call us on 9839 3333. That's 9839 3333. Akira Urgent Care. We'll have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
For all things EFL, the huddle.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get spray cam the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Archer. And welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
We've got the Dino. He's winning the league, B&F, our B&F. How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1/4.
6 p.m. every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
All the latest information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
Saturday game day continues. Let's head back.
Welcome back to BALWYN Park as both sides make their way out onto the turf and set for what should be an intriguing second half is probably the best way to put it. Welcome back to EFL Game Day. This is going to be an exciting game in terms of exactly where these two sides are at come 5 p.m. this afternoon. Noble Park have looked all the good so far, Damo. We were just saying it on the Pie Shed half-time show. Thanks to the Pie Shed for their support throughout season 2014. But Noble Park are looking the goods. Can you see BALWYN getting back into this one?
Oh, certainly. I just get the feeling, given that they're a champion team and they have that reputation to never say die, that they might just come. You just never know with a team such as BALWYN. They have the credentials. They've developed that reputation to deserve a chance in their second half. But the way they played in the first half, if they continue in that sort of vein, they're not going to get anywhere near Noble Park. And just the Bulls' endeavour has been fantastic, hasn't it, Ray? It's the mark of their game.
Oh, it certainly has. And you said that, that they might get back into the game, but I don't think they will. I don't think Noble Park's playing too well. I don't think... Look, they've found themselves in this situation right now, BALWYN, because of the way Noble Park have gone into this game. They've put pressure on the ball carrier. Their big men in Brett Dorr and Pever Wright have stood up all over the ground, and that quarter by Craig Anderson, that's the Craig Anderson of old, the Chandler medalist as we know him.
And Ray, if Noble Park go on to win this game, are you going to rebuke your tip for them not to make the finals, or are you going to maintain it?
No, look, I still think they won't make the finals, but I did say to Johnny Knight pre-match that if they win this game, I'll be one of the first ones down there to congratulate them.
Well, that's right. It'll be D-Day for Noble Park, certainly. This second half will test them. Their season is virtually on the line, Wayne Brasher. In fact, let's head down to the boundary line to see what the conditions are like with Tim Cotton, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Boys, I wandered up to your commentary position, and before that it was still yuck out here, but I've come down and it seems like it's a completely new day. I'm tempted to get my shorts and T-shirt out now. The blue sky. Let's hope it stays like this.
But is it still very cool down there, Tim?
It is, because I'm in the shade, but it looks like out in the ground there's plenty of sun out there now, so yeah, it should be good.
And Tim, I've never heard Lavinia Nixon say that the weather was yuck.
Yeah, I should work on my terminology.
Well, the sun certainly has struck valiantly through the clouds. Dyson Baker, it should be a great second half.
Yeah, look, just a quick one before we go into the second half. An update score from Lancefield Park. Riddle District, 2 behind, 2 points. Eastern Football League under 15 Division 2 side 10-11-71 on track for another win.
Underway in the second half. It's Noble Park by 29 points. What can BALWYN muster? That'll be the question in the next 50 minutes as we get underway in the glue pot. The Tigers win the clearance through McMahon. Charging his way through there was Ryan. Couldn't quite break the tackle. It's dribbled inside 50. Broadhurst tried to paddle it forward against his opponent and the umpires call for a free kick. It's going the way of the Bulls deep in their defensive 40 and they can try and clear it through the arms there of Kemperman of the Stewart variety. He switches it across the goal face. Goebel standing the mark. Be interesting to see whether Noble Park can maintain this advantage throughout the remainder of this game. They've done it well. Kick towards centre wing, looking for the intended target in Horton Mill, but coming in from the side to take a fantastic mark was McMahon of the BALWYN Footy Club. The steely determination of Ryan McMahon, seen them through weathering storms in the past. Can they do it again? The kick inside 50. No mark. Hardiman trying to paddle it forward. Couldn't quite take it. At ground level, busting his way through there is Keeley. Still no clean possession won, and the umpire eventually calls for a respite. We'll have a bounce 40 metres around from the BALWYN goal.
So, another stoppage. We've seen plenty of those so far. BALWYN would love a good start. Hardiman went up, got a handball out. Big tackle laid there. Came out, and it'll be a ball up. In there was Marco Regan. And we'll have another throw. Noble won't mind this at all to start this second half. Wright came over the top, but it was his direct opponent. Ball scragging towards the boundary line there, all over it. The sun's out here, making it terribly tough for the forwards to see. High tackle almost laid there by Campbell, did well, and we'll have another ball up.
Hope you're enjoying the broadcast on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM or streaming live through efl.org.au.
Right, won it again. Anderson leading the charge, and it will roll out of bounds. As we head boundary side for Akira urgent care for Esmond Aponso.
BALWYN, number 29, Madison, is just limping around a bit. We'll keep an eye on him for him.
Well, he's been one of the key players this afternoon for BALWYN, so they can't afford to lose Madison Hardiman. Hopefully he can stay out there. Out the back it'll work now. Come out to Taylor Gilchrist. He had to pump it back over the top. He gets it back again. Couple of handballs. They've overused it a little bit. Good kick in the end. Broadhurst had to work, and the buyouts didn't favour him. Punched over the top and out of bounds in front of Luke Bull. Just in front of the tennis courts. We'll have a boundary throw-in.
And Noble Park's doing it again, boys. They're forcing BALWYN to go wide, not using that corridor.
Ball back into play. Watts from behind against Wright in the ruck contest. It was won by the latter. Picked up a snap towards Barker in the goal square, but it's well defended, valiantly defended there by Bull for Noble Park, who rushes through another behind. So BALWYN get the first score of the second half, but it's only a minor one. 4-7-31, trailing Noble Park. 9-5-59 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Early going third term.
Ball back into play. They don't muck it around. Mark was almost taken by Door, and he'll get the free kick. Pushing the back, going against slippy Jared Shergwin. Christian Sanfilippo it is. They won't muck around. Door gave the handball off. It's not a good kick. Just in front of Sanfilippo, but getting there in the end just in time for Noble Park, and it will be a throw-in. Looks like it's a free kick going the way. On the full, was it there, Damo?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Chris Pendlebury will get the free kick. And tucked up against the boundary. Running back there is Watts, maybe wanting a cheeky short kick, and he might use him. No, Pendlebury just lobs one up. Got numbers at the back. Good mark taken though. No, went to ground, went through the hands of Goebbels. Right, did a couple of pivots. That was interesting to see. Handball eventually came out to Luke Bull. We've got a high ball to the wing. Watts flies, almost took the mark on the third grab, and he did. Almost played on as well. But he'll get sent behind the mark. The switch is on. Sold some candy. Did well there around Kemperman on the left. Players going back. Pushed over there was Broadhurst. In the end, it's going to come to ground in no favour for Noble Park. Over the footy, it's Hardiman, this man. Shugs a tackle. Kicks in board, and a mark is taken. No, it should have been a mark or a free kick. BALWYN fans aren't happy. And under the pack there, I'm just trying to see, it might be Goebbels, who's none too pleased with the umpire. He's laying there saying, give me one. And the umpire doesn't want a bar of it. We'll have a ball up 5 metres out from the BALWYN goal.
I was lucky if it went 7 metres, let alone 15.
Yeah, I think distance was the issue there. Ball back into play, deep in attack for the BALWYN Football Club. Hardiman got a dinky little kick. It was smothered off the boot, and eventually we'll have yet another stoppage as Goebbels is claimed. Almost on the goal line at the northern end of SEM Park. BALWYN pressing, they need the first goal. You get the sense to get back into this match in the second half, as eventually a tackle is claimed, and Kemperman was the recipient. We'll have yet another bounce deep in the forward pocket for BALWYN.
The defensive game of John Knight's really come to the fore in this game.
Certainly has. Wright won the tap, forces it over the line, and again we'll have a throw-in on this occasion. 15 metres around from the BALWYN goal. As I mentioned, first goal is crucial. You can see, if you're watching the stream, that the Tigers have set up a wall across their half-forward line to try and lock the ball into the play. Here's Wright with the tap. A brilliant tackle laid by Monaghan, but the umpire disagrees in the back, so it'll be a BALWYN free kick and a shot on goal, and it'll be a very, very crucial one in the context of this game. And it looks as if the recipient there for the BALWYN Footy Club is Charlie Hendry, so a very crucial kick. Before he has a shot on goal, let's head to Grant Campbell for some Choose Tap match stats.
Yeah, this will make the clearances now 6-0 in favour of BALWYN this quarter, and they're winning the contested ball 11-4.
Charlie Hendry has had a relatively quiet match. Can he place an impact on this game. From 45 metres, it's a floating ball, but it's straight through the centre. There's the crucial first goal of the second half, and it's registered by the BALWYN Footy Club. They move on to 5-7-37, trailing Noble Park 9-5-59 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and we've gone almost 10 minutes in this third term.
BALWYN had to work extremely hard for the first 6 minutes just to get that goal. They need to get another couple of goals very quickly just to put a bit of panic into the Noble Park side.
Starting to take control of the clearances though, and if they can continue to keep that facet of their game working, well, that'll bode them well heading in to this final term. But they've started well. They'll be pleased with that so far. Watt's got it down and a quick clearing kick. Mark should be taken on the chest. Coming out in front was Blake Broadhurst. Had to dive, and it was a good mark. Don't know whether he'll carry the kick though in what has been heavy conditions. He'll probably kick it from about 43, 44, but he's going to have to run through that mud pit in the centre. And we've seen a couple of players already slip over, but he's just gone to the edge of it, so he's well aware. And an important kick. Noble yet to have impacted the scoreboard this quarter. On his way in, Broadhurst, he likes it, and so do the home fans. That's a really important goal, and Blake Broadhurst has kicked his first of the afternoon. BALWYN, well, they go to 6-7-43. They trail Noble Park 9-5-59, inching closer on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard of Baird.
Yeah, the second goal to BALWYN for the quarter, and it's probably the first time in the whole match they've actually gone straight down the corridor. And Broadhurst playing in front from a kick out of the stoppage in the middle and was able to kick the goal.
So the second major of the game for Blake Broadhurst, the 2011 Bernie Naylor medalist for the leading goal kicker in the Waffle, and BALWYN are back in this game. Can you believe it? Early in the third term, we're back in the centre in the glue pot. The Balls have a number of players charging forward. One of them is Bull. He can't quite get an effective disposal away. Again, a tackle is claimed. That was from Godleapson and forces a stoppage. Still in the middle of SEM Park. BALWYN scoring the first two majors of this second half. Noble Park have been held scoreless thus far. Right with the hand pass out. The Bulls move it forward with a hack kick. Taylor Gilchrist dropped the mark. Could be costly. Monahan inside 50. Dawn with the one hand was held onto, and he'll receive the free kick.
It was there. It
certainly was. He was tugged by the jumper, and the Noble Park players obviously appealing for advantage, but it's going to come back to Brett Dorr, and this is within his range, Ray Baird.
Oh, look, he'll go back, and he should be, even with a heavy ball, he's an enormous left foot kick, so he should be able to slot this one. And once again, it's Brett Dorr, the big man who stood up in that second quarter. If he can slot this goal, let's put Noble Park back into the advantage.
So Brett Dorr, who has certainly imposed himself on the match, particularly in the first half. This to stem the flow from the Noble Park Football Club. From just beyond the 40-metre arc, he's almost directly in front. It floats and fades away to the left. Only a minor score, a crucial miss. And Noble Park move on to 9-6-60, leading BALWYN 6-7-43 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Early going third term.
In the hands of Taylor Gilchrist, he goes long. He's got a lead, and on the chest, easily taken there by Blake Broadhurst. A long way up the ground, being told to play on. Has to move on to his left. It's a good kick. And haven't seen too many clean disposals. They'll head inboard. And Mark, oh, it was a half volley. No, it was taken on the full there by O'Regan. He's got it centre square. Won't muck around, get the handball off to McMahon. Shooter. Didn't get his target, did well there in the end. It's Sam Monahan there out on the far side of the ground. It's in the hands of Liam Kidd. He can do a bit with it. Handballs over the top, puts Monahan under pressure, has to fist it forward. It's good because there's BALWYN players everywhere trying to jump in there. Taylor Gilchrist was there. McMahon got a free kick, throw, and it's going to go the way of Noble Park. Probably wasn't necessary. They had strength in numbers, didn't use it. Well, I can't see who's got the ball because he's got mud all over him here as Noble. They look to bring it inside 50. It wasn't a great kick. Dorr managed to get a fist on it late. Tackle there laid by Kelly. Couldn't do much. It's a bit high. It's a missing target. Handball there, and Anderson was there trying to pick it up. Couldn't. Oh, got to be a free kick. That's a dangerous effort there from Shane Allen. He went at the man, put two hands up, hit him straight in the head, and that's not really what you want to see. And it'll be a free kick going the way of BALWYN, but you'd rather not see that sort of incident. Probably wasn't necessary in the end either, but just getting up there is Sanfilippo, is it? He got to his feet. Churgwin, in fact. Gave it out to Gilchrist, and it's a good mark taken there on the wing. It's Hardiman who's got the football.
So Madison Hardiman, who's certainly been one of the highlights of BALWYN in their play throughout the first half. From centre wing, he's presented as a target, long towards centre half forward, falls out the back into open space. Noble Park have the numbers inside their defensive 40. Anderson with a tumbling hand pass in the direction of Horton Milne. Back it comes there to Monaghan, hacks it towards centre wing, and the spoil is effective from Milhughes, and will have a throw in 60 metres around from the Noble Park goal. Let's head to Grant Campbell with some choose tap match stats.
Inside 50, 7-1 in favour of BALWYN this quarter.
Wright won the tap from behind, but it looks as if he has effected a free kick against his side. It's going to go to his opposing number in Watts, who's of course the BALWYN ruckman, who's tried valiantly under duress this afternoon. Watts gives a quick little hand pass onto his teammate there in Taylor Gilchrist. Hoists it high towards full forward. Barker at the back. Couldn't quite take the contested mark. Regains it at ground level. He's gang tackled by a couple of Bulls, and eventually we'll see a stoppage 30 metres around for the BALWYN goal.
One of the things early in this second half is Craig Anderson all of a sudden has just gone out of the game a little bit, and Noble Park's run has gone.
Ball set in motion again. Anderson hacks the kick back towards centre wing. Over the back, no mark to Kemperman. BALWYN have the numbers. Trying to evade a would-be tackler is Jared Wright. He was unsuccessful. Got the hand pass to Sam Filippo, who broke the tackle. Kicked towards centre half forward over the head of his intended target in Weatherall. He was claimed. A free kick's been picked out by the umpire, and it looks as if it's going the way of BALWYN, so it'll be a shot on goal, and it looks as if it is in the arms of Jackson Weatherall. This is a crucial kick, Ray Baird.
Oh, look, it certainly is, and look, the free kick was there, but look, as Brash just said, Craig Anderson's gone out of the play a little bit, and Noble Park, their run has certainly gone from what it was in that second quarter.
The free kick was a high tackle as Weatherall contested for the mark. This to reduce the margin back to 11 points, and with only gone 10 minutes in this third term, Jackson Weatherall from 40 metres out, almost directly in front, but he's pushed it to the right. Only a minor score and a missed opportunity for BALWYN. They move on to 6-8-44, trailing Noble Park 9-6-60 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
You're not going to get too many good opportunities to score than that one.
No.
Ball back in, out of side, direct turnover. Mark taken easily, and it looks to be Gottliebson who's got it.
No, cross, I think it is.
And it's cross. He'll go back, and he looks comfortable to have a shot here as well. So he'll kick from 45 probably. Doesn't seem to have too many issues with the distance, and that's probably what Noble have struggled, bringing the ball out of defence. They haven't been great at it so far in this third term. Cross, it's a big kick, plenty, got the journey, and it is just off to the left-hand side. So it's one behind, and it's back to a 15-point margin now on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We've played 14 minutes in this third term, and starting to get to a crucial stage now.
BALWYN Braden are starting to ask Noble Park a few questions here.
Indeed, the pressure is being put on Noble. They're a 9th place side against the 2nd place. Is that going to tell in the second half? Big mark taken. The big man, Brett Dorr, he's been there all day. It's not the first clunky mark he's taken, and he goes long to the wing. He's got a lead in Shane Allen. That's a great kick. Shane would love them every day of the week. He's got a man over the top. He wants him in Ryan. Didn't use him, and now he's held it up, and the BALWYN defence has time to get back. It's a good kick. Mark will be taken there by Will Kelly, it is. And he's got time. Kick over the top. Got Dorr cut off there, though, by Gilchrist, and they can go. They've got numbers. Gave it off to Pendlebury. He got it over the top, back to Taylor Gilchrist. He streams through the centre of the ground. Lead on the chest of Barker, and he dropped it on the second attempt. And he looks to be hurt as well. Grabbing at his groin there, away now through Horton Milne, and Noble Park can go.
Indeed they do, the Bulls, as they move it on with the overlap on the counter-attack. At centre wing, Ryan kicks towards centre half forward, squaring ball, missed the target, and it's hit the opposing player in Ryan McMahon on the chest. Barker seems to have recovered well, which is good news for BALWYN fans. Switched into the corridor, Weatherall couldn't take the mark. Noble Park can capitalise on the turnover with a quick hand pass through Johnston. Kick inside 50, spots up his teammate in Sam Monaghan. He can go back and have a shot from 40 metres out directly in front. That was clinical play by the Bulls, Ray Baird.
Yeah, what Noble Park did then, the main thing they did was they kept their composure. They lowered their eyes and they looked for opportunities coming out of the 50-metre arc, and Monaghan goes back now and threads. Hopefully he'll thread the goal through for the Bulls.
Again, it was a turnover in the corridor which gifted Noble Park the opportunity of a shot at goal as Sam Monaghan lines up from just beyond the 40-metre arc directly in front. and it's just sunk through for a goal. So Noble Park with the answering goal to stem the flow. They move on to 10-6-66, leading BALWYN 6-9-45 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and the Bulls now have a 21-point buffer, and we're approaching the 13-minute mark of the third term.
Look, it's extremely hard when you're in the position BALWYN were at half-time, when you find yourself 29, 30 points down. You get a bit of a roll on. They kick the first 2 goals of the quarter, but then when the opposition just come back and get one as a steadier, it puts it all back to level square of what it was half-time, basically.
Especially when they had another 2 gilt-edged opportunities. They could actually be only a point down here.
Yep.
Tell you what, it's just setting us up for a stunning final quarter, boys. We weren't sure if we were going to get a great game, but we're seeing one this afternoon. BALWYN got a real test on their hands. Wright got over the top, and advantage is going to go the way of Noble. They can head inside quickly. Dorr slipped over, and easily slipping back there is Rod Crow. He takes the mark. Dorr was unlucky. Kick was over his head. Goes short and finds Sean Cross. He'll look to play on, ran himself into pressure, and it's a poor kick, but a good one. No, free kick will go the way. Definitely of Madison Hardeman. They'll take the advantage, though. And they'll go through Ryan towards the wing. Over the top, Broadhurst worked his opponent. Try to keep it in. Handball over the top. Hardeman there. Kicks in towards the centre. Mark taken. Low down Mark. And, of course, Luke Gibbarker. We haven't even seen too much of him today, but when he needed to impose himself, took a good mark. He can go back from 15 metres out on a bit of a tight angle, probably 45 degrees, and attempt to kick BALWYN 7th.
And Barker has to kick this for his own benefit as well as the team, because he hasn't had a touch today.
Third on the goal-kicking ladder this season. He walks in and he kicks his first of the afternoon. He gets BALWYN back within a tight margin. It's back to 15 points. BALWYN, they are 7-9-51. They trail Noble Park 10-6-66 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
I said earlier, Braden, that maybe at half-time that John Knight might have to try and keep this defensive game and chip game going. But I reckon now might be the time to put Shane Allen onto the ball. With Anderson just going out of the game a little bit, maybe some fresh legs might help the cause here.
Luke Barker with his first major of the afternoon, whittling the deficit back to 15 points. So BALWYN well within their rights to win this game as we're back in the centre. The fist comes down. O'Regan won the clearance, but only as far as Noble Park to kick it forward. The tap comes from Kelly. A chance now for the Bulls to move it forward if they can link up well through Wright, who hacks it inside the 40. BALWYN have the numbers, however. Gilchrist went for the double-fisted thump when he had time to mark, but he does find some respite and touch, and it'll be over for a boundary throw in 50 metres around from the Noble Park goal broadcast side.
Lack of communication there. Taylor Gilchrist should have taken that mark.
So ball back into play as the sun valiantly creeps through the clouds at SEM Park. Wright won the tap and tries to regain his own footy. He's a pillar to work with, his Pever Wright. And eventually Monaghan is claimed by a couple of Tigers. We'll have yet another stoppage.
He's been very Trojan-like, Pever Wright today.
50 metres around from the Bulls' goal. The Tigers work in numbers, trying to break away was Ryan, but he's brilliantly claimed. And we'll have a throw in. That was a sensational tackle laid there. It looked as if it was Berthe coming onto the ground and exerting his influence.
Yes, it was a good tackle by Andrew Berthe there.
Throw in. McCutcheon won the tap from the front. Chance now for the Tigers. Over the back, through the corridor, they move it. A good hand pass from Watts. Comes to his teammate there at Churgwin towards centre half forward. The spoil is applied from Anderson at the back. But BALWYN have a chance through Goebbels. Couldn't quite pick it up. The Bulls have the numbers and they work it forward for a great shepherding and communication. Kick towards this wing position. And again,
Luke
the
Ball.
player caked in mud. It looks as if it is Dorr.
No, Luke Ball, mate.
Luke Ball it is. They work it through the corridor and try the switch. It comes out towards Berthe. Now Monaghan could take it on the bounce. He's got a couple of forward players to contend with and was caught high, and he'll receive the free kick right on centre wing here at SEM Park.
They worked that very well, Noble Park. They didn't blaze away. They just crisscrossed and did the switch and ended up with a free kick to Monaghan.
Ticking over the 20-minute mark, this third quarter very much resembled the first quarter. A bit of chipping around, poor passing again, low scoring, so a bit of a mirror image of the first quarter. And they're going to head it inside 40 now. It'll just sit outside. Door flew, brought it to ground. Didn't have much on. Handball came out the back, and they'll work it through Rod Crow. With a series of handballs, they can look to use it. Switching across the face of goals, risky, but they're away. Marco Regan gave it off to Pendlebury. He heads to the man on the lead. Mark taken, and they've got Taylor Gilchrist running for him. There is Goebbels instead. He holds up, now does give it to Gilchrist. On the centre wing on the far side, got a lead out, came over the top, couldn't take it. There was Barker. And now they'll switch back to our commentary position. And they'll just hold it up here in Noble Park. 30 metres out from their own goal. And just happy to chip around is Mark Johnson. Heads out the outer side. So risking 2-on-1. Put his head on the line. And is it Madison Arden, boys?
That's Jeff Goebbels.
Jeff Goebbels, again, running into a flight of 2 players. And he's taken a sensational mark. And he'll just look to hold up. Got a lead over the top. And a good mark taken there again. And they'll go back and have a shot here. Lukey Barker. Chance to kick his second. Haven't seen much of him until the last 5 or 10 minutes. And Grant Campbell with the two-stat match stats.
Inside 50s this quarter, 13-4 in favour of BALWYN. The clearance is 10-5 their way.
Braden, it's danger signs here for Noble Park. BALWYN are starting to get their mojo and they're starting to move the ball around and run Noble Park side to side.
Certainly be hoping that Barker will miss this. He's tucked in against the pocket in front of the tennis courts. On his way in, kicking from 45. It's not a bad kick, but it is off to the left-hand side, and it's only one behind. So missing another one there, BALWYN. They're starting to miss a few opportunities. They're 7-10-52, trailing Noble Park 10-7-67 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Brasher, I agree with what you say that BALWYN is starting to get that running game going, but I still like the work of the back six of Noble Park. Even when they went into that entry there, they put their men in, was prepared to go into that hole.
Plyman to bring it back into play, looking for the tall timber in right at centre wing. The Bulls trying to move it forward with pace. The hand pass ill-directed from Allen, but the tap forward here, the Bulls through numbers as they link up. The shot at goal from 35 metres. Can the Bulls respond? Yes, they can! And the margin creeps out to 20 points. That was Will Kelly scoring the goal, an inspirational team lifter, and Noble Park move on to 11-6-74. It's 72 in fact. They lead BALWYN 7-10-52 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And that was a lucky bounce, fair enough for Noble Park then, but gee, Luke Kelly, he's been a great player for them.
What stood out to me there, Andrew Birdie ran 50 metres to put a shepherd on to make sure they could go in and kick that goal through Will Kelly. That just shows how much Noble Park want this win. They're playing for each other, and I'll tell you what, if they give that effort all game, they're a really good show here. They've 23 minutes play, they just needed that settler. We've got a whistle at the centre bounce from one of the unofficiating umpires, and they're unsure of what's going on, to be honest with you. They're trying to work out the free kick. It is, and it's a Noble Park free kick. BALWYN couldn't really afford that one, but now Noble can head forward again. And they're just holding it up here as the BALWYN defence get back, and the umpire's setting his man. He's got short Kempman if he wants him. Kempman does want it. And he does go to him. No, misses the target over his head. Anderson off his feet. It's going to work though here for Noble. Got short if they want him. Got around into trouble there was Green. Got a handball off. Need to get it in there. Ball was smothered there off Kempman's boot. And now BALWYN can work. Oh, missed target again. It's been symptomatic of this game all day. And in the end, we'll have a ball up just inside the centre square.
They certainly wasted an opportunity there, Noble Park. They should have gone to the pocket in front of us. They had a loose man there, but they went back into the corridor.
Thrown back up. Watts missed it, and able to bring it to ground was Brett Dorr. Ball cascading off a couple of chests there. Spun around Churgwin did well. Got the kick away. Good mark taken there, though.
Slips catch.
And they're away, Noble. They head to the this side of the ground, the commentary side, just in front of our position. Brett Dorr takes another mark. Missed his target again, trying to find Horton Milne. It's a spilling ball. Cross got the handball off to his teammate in Crow. And now if they can use the ball well, BALWYN are away through the hands of Jared Wright.
Right towards centre wing, looking for Goebbels, was caught out of position, but managed to judge the ball well, running back, but Noble Park do have the numbers through Kemperman. Gets the hand pass out to his teammate in Plyman. They're flirting with danger, but hard up against the boundary line. They work it out well through a chain of hand passes. Berthe receives on centre wing. Hand pass missed the target. Kemperman is taken down, and BALWYN through sheer weight of numbers can move it forward. Good hand pass in the direction of Taylor Gilchrist. A proving kick towards goal. It's an unguarded square, but it's gone across the face and through for a minor score. So BALWYN move on to 7-11-53. They trail Noble Park 11-6-72 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Let's head boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care to Tim Cotton.
Yeah, Luke Barker from BALWYN's really improved this quarter, but what Noble Park have done to minimise his impact, they've sent number 23, Mark Johnston, to sort of sit in the hole and intercept anything that goes his way.
Kick in found none other than Brett Dorr. He's got to have taken close to 10 marks today. He's been that real man who's been able to find the ball around the centre square. Kelly was under pressure, got the handball away. Over the footy there is Gottliebson, fed it out, and now it's in the hands of Churgood. Got the kick across ground again, though they're missing targets and they can least afford to. Spinning around onto his right there is Keedle. Got it over the top to Taylor Gilchrist. They've got to overlap here if they want to use it. Great tackle, holding the ball. Coming through with Stuart Kempman, and now they're released through Will Kelly. Ball over the top. It's McGettigan leading for it. He took the big reaching mark. He can spin around, but all BALWYN are getting back here. He should go back and have a shot. Instead, he's going to wheel around on the right. He reckons he can get the distance. He doesn't have the accuracy. He should have waited. Rennie Watts is in the goal square, and he'll look to move it away for BALWYN.
So Watts, the kick, well, it was ill-directed, and it was off the feet of McCartney to see it over the boundary line, so it'll be a throw-in just inside the 4:45 for Noble Park. They certainly look dangerous on the counter-attack, Ray Baird.
Oh, look, that back six, as I said before, they're fantastic.
Watts, it was an uncontested ruck contest in the end, falls out the back as a consequence. Cross, they have numbers through the corridor. Good hand pass from Pendlebury, finds Gilchrist on the half-back flank. Sends a high ball hoisted towards centre wing, into the path of Broadhurst. The bounce was fickle for him, and it's seen over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw-in right on centre wing, outer side at SEM Park.
One thing that Noble Park have to be very wary of is that when the BALWYN get the ball in front of us here, they switch to the other side, and they've got 2 or 3 runners there every time.
Ticked over the 26.5-minute mark of this third term. Next goal, very, very crucial, particularly in these inclement conditions. Noble Park can move it forward. Good hand pass there was relayed to Anderson through Allen. Anderson kicks towards centre half forward into the path of Horton Milne. Breaks the tackle, evades the traffic, gets the hand pass to McGettigan. Great spot up in the goal square, and the mark has been taken by the cult figure at Noble Park, Pever Wright, and he can go back and have a shot 10 metres out directly in front.
All the good work, Ray, that that BALWYN have done in this quarter could come back and hurt them as Pever Wright lines up to put them nearly back 5 goals in front.
Right, to give them a 25-point advantage, and he succeeds, converts, gives them that lead, and Noble Park at 12-6-78, leading BALWYN 7-11-53 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We're on the cusp of three-quarter time, and Ray Baird, wasn't that a crucial goal?
Oh, and the man that Brash mentioned was a bit quiet early in this quarter, Craig Anderson. He got that ball out to Horton Milne, and look, it was a great player, great forward entry by Noble Park, and the big man who we've given him plaudits all day, Pever Wright, to take the mark and a goal, and he's been a great player for Noble Park today.
What they continue to do, Noble, they continue to use the corridor, and we keep seeing BALWYN trying to switch to the outer side, and they're missing targets, so it's not working for them, Ray.
But they have to be wary of that BALWYN switch too, Braden.
Yeah, exactly, but at the moment, BALWYN just can't seem to hit targets. If they find in that last quarter, they might be able to get some run and spread. We know how well they finish.
Well, BALWYN running out of the back 50 pretty well, but when they get to the forward 50, where they back 6 for Noble Park, is they come straight back in.
We had a secondary bounce. BALWYN got the ball forward, and it's unlucky siren sounds just before the mark was taken. They want to take it, but the umpire's going to come and confer. The sign clearly went beforehand, and that's the decision the umpires come to. I'll tell you what, we're set for a cracking final term here on EFL Game Day. It's BALWYN, well, they're trailing, surprisingly trailing. Noble Park 12-6-78, leading BALWYN 7-11-53. We'll be back after this break for a cracking final term on EFL Game Day.
You don't have to. Walk in at 150, 40, roadie, double, at 8, clear up, urgent, we'll have you off in no time. Thank you.
Sorry? Is that what's going on? Ready, Greg? Yeah, ready. Hi. Yeah. What I'll do is I'll have a quick listen to this, and then at the end of it, when you're walking off, I'll have a chat to you. All right? I'll just see what.
Radio Eastern 98.1. This is EFL Game Day at 8 after 4. Barry Const's back here in the studio, and we'll return for the exciting last quarter of our big match out there at BALWYN, between BALWYN and Noble Park. But let's check some AFL scores and the current game. And they're in Tassie at the moment. It's between Hawthorn and West Coast, and in the last quarter, Hawthorn have definitely kicked away. At three-quarter time was Hawthorn 16-7-103, leading West Coast Eagles 8-7-55. And it's currently the 21-minute mark of the last quarter, and it's Hawthorn 18,917, well ahead of West Coast 11,773. Jared Roughhead for Hawks is on fire. He's currently kicked 7 goals. Gunston 3 and Loudon also 3, the new recruit. And major possession getters for the Hawks, Luke Hodge 28, Lewis 26 and Smith 24. And goal scorers for the Eagles, Gaff has 3, plus 2 and Darling 1. Major possession getters, Hutchings 28, Shuey 28 and Prittis 25. So at the 22-minute mark of the last quarter, it's Hawthorn 18,917, leading the West Coast Eagles 11,773.
What song would you like played at your funeral?
Oh, it's got to be A Long Way to the Top. Akadaka. Yeah, Just the Way You Are, Billy Joel. Love that song.
Oh, the Collingwood song. Good old Collingwood forever.
How about Return to Sender? Music is a must at funeral services. Certain songs say so much about a loved one's personality and the defining moments of their life. The best way to ensure they play the right song at your funeral is to have a fixed-price funeral plan. Find out more at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating life.
Program sponsor.
Best EFL rap on radio, don't miss EFL every Sunday. N1 and the team, all the finals, goal kickers, best players, and following a big round of EFL. Kane also talked to winning coaches as the final. Here at EFL, live and local, your footy, every Sunday, 98.1. Believe. Also, download the EFL mobile web app.
There we go.
Live and local. Come on, Tigers. Right.
Now it's back to the team out there at SEN Park. Last quarter.
Welcome back to SEN Park.
Esmond, boundary.
Thanks very much, Barry Cots. We just lost you for a second there. Perfect timing as we had boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care, and Esmond has a special guest with him.
Good afternoon. I've got Rennie Gilchrist, who the BALWYN captain, is not playing today, just for injury. Now, just very quickly, BALWYN found themselves in unfamiliar territory. Rennie.
Yeah, well, sometimes actually we play better coming from behind, so hopefully that's the case today. Obviously we'll be kicking uphill, but Noble have played well, so hopefully we can get the job done.
Noble Park also had Mark Johnston in front of Luke Barker, chopping off a lot of supply to him. Any sort of options that he can do to just counteract that?
Yeah, we just need to move the ball quicker from half back. If we move the ball quicker and catch Barks one-on-one, I think that'll go a long way for us winning the game.
Thanks very much for that, Rennie, for your time.
Thanks very much to Esmond. Thanks very much again to Rennie Gilchrist. Fantastic work. The injured skipper of the BALWYN Football Club. Just a quick update coming in from Lansfield Park. 13-12-9 of the Eastern Footy League. 2 behinds, 2 points, Riddle District. So a convincing win to the under-15 twos in their second game. Grant Campbell, some of the Choose Tap match stats as we're just about to get this one underway.
In that third quarter, BALWYN had 12 clearances to 8. They won the contested possessions 35-20, 15-8. Took 7 intercept marks to 1 and had 3 marks inside 50 to 2. Remember that BALWYN have won every last quarter by an average of 25 points, so this game is not over yet.
Yeah, thanks for Campbell. Sorry, caught me off guard there. Soupy with the Yarra Valley Water Choose Tap match stats across boundary side. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care, this time with Tim Cotton.
Yeah, guys, I was in the Noble Park, and John Knight was absolutely wrapped with the boys' effort so far. Tackling's been awesome. He says in quarter 4 you've got to control the tempo of the footy. In that last quarter, he was full of praise for the back six under immense pressure, and his final message was just to keep running and back yourselves in.
John Knight kept the players in for a long time. Thank you there for Tim Cotton. A lot longer there than the BALWYN players. They've been in position for a couple of minutes now. Just quickly, boys, Ray, Brash, Trojan player of the day so far. Who do we like?
A couple of players have come to the light. Peever Wright and certainly Brett Dorr, the two for mine at the moment, Ray.
Oh, yeah, I agree with both of those, Brash. They've both been fantastic.
If they can hold on, we expect those two players certainly to feature in the votes this afternoon. We've got a cracking final 30 minutes. Can Noble end a bit of the rot and keep themselves in the finals race, or will BALWYN be too strong? We're about to find out. And to lead us away in this final term, Damian Watson, take it away, mate.
The unquestionable blaring siren sees us underway in the final term. It's Noble Park by 25 points. Their season is on the line. Can they maintain it? Horton Milne attempts to get the clearance, but it's chopped off by McMahon for BALWYN. Can the Tigers respond here through a quick goal? Hendry to McMahon. Kick towards half order. Goebbels takes it with the outstretched arms on the lead, and he's about 60 metres around from goal, probably just beyond his range. Looks into the middle, finds the intended target in O'Regan. Sends a twizzly ball towards the centre of the forward line, but it's chopped off, and a brilliant mark taken by McCartney on the chest to relieve the tension for Noble Park. Looks towards the broadcast wing. Brilliant mark, backing back with a flight, Peter McGettigan, and he takes the mark to slow down the play once again for the Bulls. So McGettigan wheels round onto the right foot, sends a sterling ball towards half forward. Watts couldn't quite take the mark. Hand pass comes back for BALWYN. Running through and chopping it off there is Crow. They do well with the link-ups in the hand pass department here, the BALWYN Footy Club. Eventually it was chopped off. Ryan regained it. Hand pass comes back. Bill Hughes had attempted to gain it. A quick turnover. Noble Park move it forward through Monaghan. A dribbling ball towards goal. And it's bounced the right way. And the Bulls get the all-important first goal of the final term. They move on to 13-6-84. They lead BALWYN 7-11-53 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. It's not insurmountable, but 31 points is a very crucial margin, Wayne Brasher.
It is, and it's come at a really good stage for Noble Park to get that opening goal of the last quarter. That gives them momentum rather than BALWYN.
And the man Brasher was in there again. Craig Anderson was instrumental in that forward thrust as well.
Yeah, expect him to lift in this final turn. Noble, they're charging to victory. Have BALWYN got an answer? They started well in this third term, but in this fourth term here, they haven't been able to get the ball forward so far. They wasted their one opportunity. Back in the centre, Cross was tackled without the ball, but they get it forward. Noble out of the hands of Kempman. It was punched. He's trying to get there. Leading the chase there was Jared Wright for BALWYN. Kempman's in there again. Stewart Variety, and he's over the football, and we'll have a ball up, 50 out. Far side of the ground, just in front of the patrons on the hill. They'll be cold and a little bit wet, and at the moment they'll be unhappy as they trail by a fair margin at the moment. It's a 31-point lead to Noble Park.
Just a quick score correction. In fact, 13-7-85 Noble Park leading BALWYN 7-11-53.
So it's a 32-point lead then, in fact, we've got there. Either way, it's going to be difficult there.
Well,
Damo, certainly they need, 6 goals at the moment, and it's certainly been this type of game. A stoppage, they've only kicked 7 for the day so far, BALWYN, but they're a fast-finishing side. Rennie Gilchrist mentioned it. They like to play from behind. Advantage is going to go Noble's way. They can stroll into an open goal here. Run in, kick the goal. He's was about to give the big pumping fist there was Will Kelly. He couldn't. It's just to the left-hand side, and it's one behind. On the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, they move to 13-8-86, leading BALWYN 7-11-53.
Certainly an interesting final 20 minutes beckoning us here at SEM Park as BALWYN bring it back into play. And it's in the arms of Rod Crow, deep in their defensive zone. Gives the hand pass off to McMahon. And the wily veteran kicks it forward, and the mark has been taken, in fact, by McMahon. The kick came from Gilchrist.
Ran through the mark.
Yes, and the 25-metre penalty has been paid. So this could be crucial. Obviously, BALWYN need to get a run on. As Braden mentioned, they've kicked 7 goals, and they need virtually that amount in the final term to win the game. So Ryan McMahon, the recipient of a 25-metre penalty, will look to switch the play into the corridor. Mark taken by Cross. They look out wide and they got numbers streaming forward here, the BALWYN Footy Club. Chip pass from Crow. Finds his intended target in Godleapson. Hand pass over the top to Cross. Evades Anderson as a would-be tackler. The hand pass missed the target, but it's well gathered by Liam Fraser. Hand pass off. Shot at goal is across the face, and it should bounce over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in deep in the forward pocket for the BALWYN Footy Club. They must capitalise off this forward foray. Wade Brasher.
They must, but BALWYN don't want to use the centre corridor. They just want to keep going around the wings.
Boundary throwing probably the best result. They just need some time in their forward half here at the moment, BALWYN. They haven't been out of security. Again, it's an easy clearance, but it's going to come straight back in. No, couldn't take the chest mark. There was Ryan, the big man, Brett Dorr in there again, laying a huge tackle. His presence has just been huge today. They were away there, probably BALWYN, had the footy, Ryan, but he dived in and laid another crucial tackle. Ball up, 45 out. Rennick grabbed it straight out of the ruck in the end. Did right and got it away to his teammate in green. He banged it forward. Not a particularly effective kick. As BALWYN have got it, we got a free kick and a whistle. Tripping is going to go the way of BALWYN. They've got it through the centre. They need to use the corridor. Target is Charlie Henry. They head out wide again. This hasn't worked for them all day. Can they bring it back towards the centre? Watts is leading in. Instead heads further wide and finds Jared Churgwin chipping over the top. Can't take the mark there. To be Mill Hughes and diving in. No, in fact, it was Blake Broadhurst. And it'll be a ball up.
Brash, I have to say it again. You've got to compliment the back six of Noble Park today.
Yeah.
They have been fantastic. And when you analyse the whole game, since about halfway through the first quarter, Noble Park have really controlled the game.
Exactly right.
Thrown back up, right border to ground. Sensation on the ruck. They're away now. Ball, Noble Park, in fact, Monaghan got it away over the shoulder. Might have been a free kick Noble's way. It's really tough and dirty now.
Oh, here we go.
Came out, it was Stuart Kempman. Over to his captain Anderson. He can waltz in. He can one further instead. Doesn't take a bounce. Runs in and kicks her behind. He could have run another 20 metres. Instead, that would have been the final nail, you thought. It's just one behind. Noble Park, they moved to 13-9, 87, leading BALWYN 7-11-53. We've played 6 minutes in the final term at SEN Park.
Gee, it would have been fitting if Craig Anderson, the skipper, could put the seal on the deal early in this final term, but he couldn't convert. Can BALWYN capitalise on that miss? They move it out of their defensive zone. Mark taken by O'Regan. At the left half-back flank position, a brilliant spoil affected on centre wing by Plyman, and it'll be a ball in on centre wing. Let's head to Grant Campbell for some Choose Tap match stats.
Noble Park winning the contested ball 10-4. BALWYN overusing the footy. They're winning the uncontested possessions 22-4.
Ball back into play on centre wing. It's been an intriguing battle between Wright and Watts in the ruck. The former won it down for Noble Park. It's picked up by Kelly, who's been fantastic all afternoon of the Will variety. Regains it again with the hand pass. Hard up against the line. Sends it towards centre half forward. Dorr, Crumbing, rode it well. Now onto the left foot. Swings it round his body. Kick partially smothered. McCutcheon stands under the footy. He's well claimed by a couple of bulls. Among them is Kidd. And it'll be a ball up. It's deep inside Noble Park's 50. Looking very, very ominous.
Will Kelly's had a ripping game too for Noble Park this afternoon.
Kick on goal. In fact, it's hit the post. That was almost out of nowhere. Shane Allen making something out of nothing from the scrimmage, just banged it onto the boot and it's rolled into the post. So another let off for BALWYN. Noble Park 13-10-88, leaving the Tigers on 7-11-53 Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Brought back into play now, BALWYN. They've just got to use this corridor. They haven't been able to find a way through it all afternoon. Big thumping kick comes out to shoot him, McMahon. He's got it, looks to play on, but manning the mark well there was Mark Johnson. He's had a good game. Over the top again, it's a kick that's just going to favour no one. Goebbels was ragdolled there by Jared Plimman. He's over the top of him. He wants holding the ball. Umpire will come in, and what's he signal? No, he just wants the players to chill out. It'll be a ball up. And they're getting into each other a bit, Goebbels and Plimman. Goebbels is just trying to say, mate, do you know who I am? You know I've kicked Torps in the grand final and I do whatever I want, but I tell you what, Plimman's done a pretty good job on him this afternoon. Ball up. Watts won it down. Came into Madison Hardiman's hands. He's probably gone out of the game a little bit in this second half as we see a ball up, and the players are starting to get a little bit involved with each other.
But this style of play with all these stoppages, it's falling into Noble Park's hands. They wouldn't mind this. They can just play out the quarter in that position.
Well, we've already played 8 minutes, so time is most certainly running out with 6 goals still needed. Trying to bury their way through, get a high free kick. Lucky in the end, BALWYN, but they need a bit of luck at the moment. He did well just to bury his way to get one there. Did Shooter McMahon. He's limping away. And he just needs to get it in there because there's not much movement in the forward line. It's really stagnant. He doesn't have much to go to. Instead, he goes to pocket 2 on 3 in favour of Noble Park. They do the easy job coming over the top with the big fist, Robert Kemperman.
Hasn't had a lot of touches today, Robbie Kemperman, but I tell you what, he's kept Luke Barker right out of this game.
He's been terrific, Brash. He really has.
And even around this contest, looks like Noble just seemed to outnumber BALWYN at the moment. Thrown back in, right one again. Great tap, sensational. Got over the top to McCarthy. McCartney wasn't a great handball. Missed his target. McMahon in there. McCartney blocking it. Kick around the body came in. Good bump laid, but couldn't take the mark in the end. There was Jared Churgwin. They're just using the ball really well. Ran himself into a bit of trouble there to Stuart Kemperman, holding the ball. He tried to use the boundary as a bit of leeway, didn't get it, and they need to move it quickly now, BALWYN.
So the Tigers must score a goal from this foray forward. You get the feeling if they're going to conquer in this game. Barker flies high for the mark from the kick inside 450. It stays in play. Goebbels tried to run onto it, but a brilliant lunging effort. Diving from the back, Daniel Keeley rushes it through for a behind, and Noble Park force it through for BALWYN's 12th behind of the match. They're 7-12 the Tigers. Noble Park 13-10 Bendigo Bank scoreboard. So the Bulls move it back into play. A long kick came from Plyman. A chance now for Horton Milne. He's composed amongst traffic, and a free kick's been paid down the ground. It looks as if it's going the way of Noble Park. Horton Milne was felled as he kicked the ball. So the recipient on centre wing is Sean Burke, who's just come onto the ground. Burke wheels around onto the left foot, kick towards centre half forward, tried to spot up Anderson, was just over his head. Now can the Tigers capitalise? They're in the corridor, Hardiman dives over the footy, forces a stoppage, and we'll have a ball up 60 metres around from the Noble Park goal, right in the centre half back position for BALWYN.
When we go to Grant Tamble next, I'll be interested to see how many stoppages Noble Park have won for the day.
Tackle effected by Allen, forces the ball to ground. The hand pass ill-directed. This could be the nail in the coffin. The hand pass in front of McGettigan, who stribbles it through for a goal, and that could almost just about seal it for Noble Park. They move on to 14-10-94, leading BALWYN 7-11-53 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Is that curtains, Ray Baird?
Look, it certainly is. And Brash, you want to know how many clearances? It doesn't matter. That last one was the one that counts. We'll cross the Grant Campbell.
Yeah, in this last quarter, it's been total domination. Noble Park leading the clearances 10-2. For the match, they lead 47-43. So BALWYN have actually been in front, but this quarter just all one-way traffic.
So we've played 11 and a half minutes, and it's been a four-quarter performance so far from Noble Park. Up in the ruck was Dory, running down. He's done everything today. He's really been sensational when they've needed him, and we'll have a secondary ball up.
Well, you called for him to lift Ray Baird during the week, and Brett Dorr's done just that.
Oh, he's been terrific today, Damian.
Up in the centre, Dorr won it down again, but they'll get the clearance. A high ball, no, BALWYN doesn't particularly go a long way. Mark's taken there by Toby Ryan. He's going to head short. It's a poor kick. Looking for Blake Broadhurst. That sums up their day this afternoon. Missed targets has been really symptomatic of the way they've played. Daniel Keeley took it. Didn't find his target, but did well in the end. Horton Milne got the crumbing foot. He got the handball away before he was caught with it. Ball heads towards the boundary and happily seen over in the end by Liam Fraser. It's a comfortable lead, a 41-point lead. You wouldn't have thought you'd be saying that at the start of the day, Wayne Brasher.
No, and this, I reckon there might be a few Norwood people watching this game with big interest today.
Yeah, they'd certainly be impressed. Ball carried out, good tackle laid there on Jamie Gottliebson for a secondary ball up just inside the centre square in front of the hill. The BALWYN fans are still here, but I don't know if they'll be here for that much longer. Ball came down, and we'll have another ball up in the hands of Christian Sanfilippo.
Interestingly, Braden, BALWYN go up to Norwood next week, and Mullen may not be in the best condition for BALWYN to play their type of game.
Well, that's going to be a huge game, especially given the way BALWYN not travelling as well as they'd like in the next 6 weeks, with a couple of injuries, a couple of players heading overseas. Just makes things a little bit interesting and really opens up this competition for the first time in arguably a few years. So really a couple of interesting weeks coming up in Division 1. Ball back into play, 50 metres out from the Noble Park goal. Players diving in. We'll have another ball up as Noble happily whittle away the time here.
So Noble Park have certainly impressed all comers here at SEM Park this afternoon. Certainly the conditions have suited them. A wet ground, a wet turf here at SEM Park, and they've capitalised with a hard, scrappy game plan, which has been very beneficial for them as we have yet another ball up. Another stoppage in the centre half forward position for Noble Park. Set in motion again. Dorr won the tap. He's been fantastic around the ground this afternoon. Forced to ground level. And the bevy of players dive on top of the footy. Among them, Gillam will have yet another bounce. 45 metres around from the Bulls' goal. It's been an impressive performance. Tap one out the back by Crow as the third man up. It's forced to ground level. BALWYN try and keep it in play in a tight, congested situation. Horton Mill got the hand pass out. He's claimed by a couple of Tigers. We'll have a bounce 70 metres around from the Noble Park goal. I'll tell you what though, BALWYN's loss today really gives the sense of comfort to Norwood in Division 1.
Most definitely gives Norwood a couple of game break now.
It certainly does, and they'll be very pleased with that, the Norsemen, as we have yet another stoppage. The tempo dropping in this game. It's quite pedestrian, and certainly the BALWYN faithful are unhappy on the hill this afternoon after the performance from their Tigers today. As we're set back underway again, Anderson trying to slap it clear. It's almost like a volleyball batch. Eventually the Tigers win it out with a couple of linking hand passes. The chip pass finds Keatle on the lead at centre wing. The umpire's blown the whistle, and it looks as if it'll be a Noble Park free kick out the back.
Out in the full, I think.
Yes, it has gone out in the full, just a touch. So the recipient will be Daniel Keeley. Between half-back and centre wing. He's got a couple of options if he wants to switch it to centre half-back. Instead, he opts to go down the line with a long hoisted ball towards half-forward. Door caught underneath the footy. Anderson pushed over as he kicked it. Falls to ground level. Barker got the hand pass out. Kick from Monaghan was smothered. Ricochets back into play. Chance now for Keatle, gets the hand pass out, a kick hacked inside 50 for Noble Park, presenting well with authority as Door, swings round, gives it to his teammate Will Kelly, dropped it, hand pass back to Burke, kick on goal was ineffective and BALWYN can clear it from their defensive zone.
Asking for the balls, Mitch Keatle, he's got it, the man in the red boots, kick over the top, oh another poor kick, looking for Jared Churg, going to have to cut inside, and again just couldn't find the target. And frustrating times for BALWYN.
The BALWYN disposal throughout the game has been quite poor to their standards.
Oh, and considering, I know we've talked the conditions a bit, boys, but it's not like it's been torrential rain. I mean, it's, sure, it's been a hard day, but it hasn't been impossible, boys.
It's come about because of the pressure Noble Park's put on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Ball came out to Hendry, gave it away. Another kick looking for Barker, and the fist came through and saw it out of bounds. And they're really getting around each other for Noble Park. Grant Campbell with two-stat match stats.
Contested possessions in this final quarter is 26-13 Noble Park's way, so they've won twice as much.
Jared Churgwin's just gone off with a shoulder or maybe a wrist. We'll get our boundary riders onto that.
Another injury, something they probably can't afford at the moment. BALWYN, ball came out, kicking it out. We're just inside the BALWYN forward 50. Had to get a quick kick away there was Mark Johnson. Indeed he has. He did well. Madison Hartman somehow got the ball. A poor kick on the outside of the boot. He is out on the full. And there's some tired players down on the ground now in a contested game. Free kick's going to go the way of Jared Plymouth. Just looking at the next month, boys, BALWYN's certainly a tough one. Norwood, Blackburn, Montrose, followed by South Croydon. As we see a risky kick ball back in, but mark taken by Tim Kelly. That's a hard month.
Yes, the top five sides.
They've got Roval in there too, haven't they, BALWYN?
We'll have a look at that one in a second. Ray Boyle has come out to Horton Milne, and it's going to switch back over that poor handball. They can run into an open goal if they want. Can have a bounce. Looks to be Hendry. Had one and has kicked the goal. Yes, he has indeed. So walks in Charlie Hendry, kicks his second of the afternoon, but not too much fanfare about it. We've played 17.5 minutes here in the final term, and they move along. I think that might be their first score of this quarter, boys, or certainly very close to a ball. And they are 8-11-59, trailing Noble Park 14-10-94.
One thing's for sure, at least at the end of the day, Noble Park can walk away from this game with their reputation intact and their finals campaign still there.
Well, it's been reignited, hasn't it? Many thought it was dead last week, but it seems to have been revived with the win today against a quality opponent.
Just on Roval playing Noble next week. That might be the game you're thinking of, Ray. So it's BALWYN that have got the tough next month, though.
Charlie Hendry with his second major to reduce the deficit to 35 points, but to no avail, really. Noble Park have dominated the day, and it's their story as Wright dives on the footy in the centre in that muddy glue pot, which has defined the ground at SEM Park. Let's head down to ground level with Esmond Aponso, thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
A quick update on Jared Churgwin, number 19. Unlikely to come back on there with the shoulder injury.
Well, it's a big loss if it affects his chances for the next few weeks. Jared Churgwin, as Anderson breaks away from the pack, swings it round his body on the right foot towards half-forward. Door leading out, gets the fist on the ball and spoils it over to the boundary line. We'll have a throw in 70 metres around from the Noble Park goal, outer side of SEM Park. Right in front of the tennis club here. Fantastic typical wintry day for footy, local footy-wise. It's been that quintessential day here at BALWYN Park, and we'll have a recall of the throw-in. It's a good atmosphere, certainly for a lot of local footy pundits. Ball back into play. Bertay at the back, lingering. Couldn't quite win the tap. Dorr affects the tackle, and a free kick's been paid. It's going against Noble Park for a high claim, and it'll be a BALWYN free kick to Hendry. Quick give off with the hand pass to his teammate in McMahon. Looks towards St Arford. Good spoil at the back against Broadhurst. Forces the spillage. Chance now at ground level. Good take by McCutcheon, but he's brought to ground. Chance now for the BALWYN Tigers as they move forward. O'Regan was brilliantly claimed there in a tackle by, I think it was Ryan. It was Jack Ryan. Forces a stoppage, and we'll have a ball up right on centre wing here at SEM Park, broadcast side of the ground.
Noble fans certainly starting to get involved now. We can hear in our effects mics as BALWYN headed forward though. The chase is on. It's probably not going to favour BALWYN in the end. Diving to get to it was Christian Sanfilippo. He couldn't, and we'll have a throw in 45 out from the BALWYN goal.
One of the things that's impressed me by what Noble Park have done today, they've physically beaten up on BALWYN here today, and that's been one of the impressive traits.
It's not an easy thing to do against a side like this. Torp came out of the centre there for BALWYN. It's just plugged in the mud, and a push in the back. Definitely trying to appeal against it there. Trying to see who it might have been. Sean Burke. In the end, it's a free kick BALWYN's way. Handball came off from right. It's a wide ball. It's the way they've played all day, and it hasn't worked for them. BALWYN. Gottliebson couldn't take the mark. He got it back to cross. He's lying in there. Anderson got it away. He's been sensational. Quick handball worked. Try to push it out the back there, and yeah, free kick will go against McGettigan. Just tried to work his opponent out of it. He couldn't. And BALWYN will look to switch the play. Ball in the hands of Rod Crow. Haven't seen him be able to work too much of his magic today. Mill Houston's got it. Neither of this man. Plenty of quiet players. Finds O'Regan. He's got it on centre wing. He switches into the centre of the ground. And they're held up again. This is what's been hard today. They haven't been able to get the ball quickly and forward, Brash.
No, and they keep going wide. And it's this entry into the forward line that's cost them all day.
And it's not deep either. It's tucked in the pocket. Broadhurst has got it. Handball's back outside. Think it's crossed. Lines up. The big ruckman, Peever Wright, sitting back in the hole. He takes an easy chest mark and gets plenty of plaudits from his Noble Park fans. He's had a sensational afternoon.
And what I like about him, Braden...
Oh, you give a man a rap, I swear to God. It's a horrible kick, and it results in a goal. He's had a great day, Fever Wright, and he kicked the ground as he kicked the ball, Ray, and it's a direct turnover. I didn't see a kick the goal.
Ryan McMahon,
thank you. And just adds a little bit of, I suppose, icing, or it makes BALWYN look a little bit better on what's been a poor day, and probably the only mark against Peever Wright.
Look, it's the first thing he's done wrong all day, but what I was going to say before he did fluff that kick was I like the way that when the ball goes out to the pocket, the way he falls back into the square, and probably 3 or 4 times today he's marked the ball in the square by himself.
14-10 to 9-11. McMahon's goal certainly flatters BALWYN in terms of their 29-point deficit, as we have another secondary bounce in the middle amongst the glue pot at SEM Park.
And Johnny Knight's dropped Peever right back into that hole too, boys.
Certainly has. He's played a versatile role this afternoon, being moved to different positions as BALWYN win the clearance. Again, they're forced wide. Crow copped a high smack in the face, and he'll receive the free kick right on centre wing. It looks as if the offender was Allen, so Crow, the recipient. He's been relatively quiet, but respectable as a steadfast defender. Hand pass from Hendry, again missing the target. Ryan with the hand pass for Noble Park, forces it out of play. No deliberate decision called, to the chagrin of the BALWYN fans, and we'll have a ball in 70 metres around from the BALWYN goal, broadcast side of the ground. So again, ball forced and set in motion by the boundary umpire, and again we'll have a secondary bounce. It's been the tale of the day in terms of the way the state of the game has been played. So hope you've joined the broadcast this afternoon on 98.1 at Radio Eastern FM and streaming live on efl.org.au, wherever you may be watching, whether it be in Victoria or even abroad. As the ball is again set in motion, McMahon got the hand pass out to Hendry, who hacks it inside 50. Goebel's held in the pocket. Broadhurst keeps it in play with a high ball towards full forward.
There he is.
Over the top, Peever Wright, a brilliant mark, stood strong as Barker came from behind, and Noble Park can clear on the counter-attack through Kidd.
Kidd's got it, has a bounce, can have another one, might even have a 30, does. He's got a chase coming in, Gottliebson instead over the top. Ball's taken there by Ryan. Good kick, no, missed his... Oh, it's bounced over the back, trying to dribble one through. and it's just touched on the line. It was McGettigan trying to sneak a little goal through, but it'll just be one behind. It's not going to make too much difference to the final score here. It's Noble Park 14-11-95, leading BALWYN 9-11-65. Ball back into play in the centre of the ground. Just about 3 minutes to play in the final term. Could run into an open goal. Does, and that is the icing on the cake. Will Kelly has ticked Noble Park over the 100 mark and can celebrate a sensational afternoon for the Bulls. They move along to 15-11-101, leading BALWYN 9-11-65. We played 25 minutes final term. Ray-Ban.
Brash, just going back to the way that Noble took the ball out of the defence there, did you see the chase by Kemperman there? He was protecting the man with the ball who had 3 or 4 bounces around. It's a team thing Noble Park have done today.
And they've done that all day. We saw that with young Bertie in the third quarter. He did exactly the same thing. They wanted this game, Noble Park, more today, and they've got it.
So 35 points the margin. Noble Park with some icing on a very, very delicious cake this afternoon as the centre clearance is one for BALWYN. Can they get some respectability onto this scoreboard? Cross towards full forward, and a man who's been really cited all day, Luke Barker, takes the mark to the Bronx cheers of the Noble Park fan club, and he can go back and have a shot from just inside the 40-metre arc directly in front.
Sean Cross has been relatively serviceable for BALWYN today. He's run all day. He hasn't stopped trying, but unfortunately he just hasn't been able to hurt Noble Park with his possessions.
Luke Barker shooting for his second major from 35 metres out, and it's gone straight through the centre. Not a lot to cheer about for the BALWYN fans, but they can applaud Luke Barker on that occasion as BALWYN are brought to 10-12-72. They trail Noble Park 15-11-101 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We played almost 26 minutes in this final term.
Be interesting to see what Dan Donati says to the playing group tonight, Ray, after the game, especially with this tough month coming up.
Oh, well, that's right, Brash, but I think he'd be more talking about today rather than what's coming up. I think that'll come later in the week.
Well, they've had both teams had their bye. Noble have come out the better here. Renwick Watts came over the top, run the tap down, but it's straight into another ball up as we look over a darkened SEN Park. Hang around for the BGC Bayswater post game. We'll have a wrap up of the season so far. A season in review after a fairly interesting start of the season. And we've got a holding the ball in the free kick, so in the centre. So make sure you stick around for that as we go boundary side for Akira Urgent Care. Tim Cotton.
There's still a fair few BALWYN fans here, but it is just dead quiet around the ground. They were not expecting this.
No, you're definitely right, Tim. They'll be very surprised if Payton's on the hill. Still there flying. There was Luke Barker. Big ball came in, but again, the defence just rebounds. Kempman dropped the ball, got the handball away in time. Spilling through the hands of Kelly. Did well, but under pressure, gave it up. Missed the target in Hardeman. There was the handball out of the pack. Diving over the top was Will Kelly again. And a ball up, might have got one in the back.
Yeah, I thought he was unlucky not to get that one in the back there, Braden.
They put their whistles away, maybe, Ray, with a couple of minutes to go. We've played 27 minutes in the final term. It's going to be a great victory of the Bulls. Ball came out the back. Kemperman had it stolen off him by his own teammate in Will Kelly. Ball will go high back, taking a good flying mark. Look to be Jared Wright in defence. He plays on, handball over the top, still trying to take it on, but again they're hanging to this outer side. Wright got it back from Crow. He got the kick forward. Mark was taken by Gottliebson. Gave it under pressure, just shrugged the tackle in time. Kicked out to this outer side wing on the hill. I'd love to see a heat map today because the ball's just been centred there when BALWYN's had it. Under pressure there is Sam Filippo. Sold the candy inside, sold it rather. Found Blake Broadhurst, held it up, headed back in board. Finds his teammate in Gottliebson. They're working it. That is a poor ball. It's a high ball. Hospital pass for Hendry. He couldn't take the mark as Monahan came over the top. Strength in numbers for Noble Park. We've got a tripping free kick. It's going to go the way of BALWYN, and it might be 25 as well. Yes, it is.
Yeah, Charlie Hendry looks like he might be getting a free kick here.
So Hendry's going to get one. I think Monahan might have given the 25 away. And Hendry will go in, kick from about 30 metres, 30-degree angle.
Free kicks 10-2 in favour of BALWYN in the final quarter.
And for the match, Subi?
For the match, it is 28-24 in favour of BALWYN.
Yeah, right. So it's certainly been the last quarter where it's decided it. We're probably in the last minute here of this final term. Hendry on his way in. He's kicked 2 this afternoon, 1 already in this last quarter. Taking his sweet time about it, just circling the ball in his hands. Shouldn't have too many issues. to put at least a flatter than once more. Hendry on his way in, and it's a miss. Well, that summed up the day. Again, Damo, Bronx cheers from the Noble Park supporters. He kicked it to the right-hand side. It's one behind, and it's BALWYN 9-12-66. Training Noble Park, help me out here, for 15-10, 95, 101.
I think, yes, 15-11, 101. So, not long to go in this encounter. There's the siren. And the Noble Park Footy Club will be blowing the candles on a sweet, sweet Queen's Birthday victory cake as they prevail against all expectations at SEM Park. The final scores, Noble Park 15-11, 101 have defeated BALWYN 10-13, 73. A fantastic victory. That will reinvigorate the Noble Park Football Club, Ray Baird.
Oh, look, it was a fantastic effort from Noble Park. As I said earlier, apart from the first half of the first quarter, Noble Park controlled the game. They played the game on their turns, and I thought they were prepared to get down and get dirty and run the ball through that mud in the cricket pitch in the middle, whereas BALWYN, even right up in the last 10 minutes of the game, they were still wary of going in that glue patch and went wide.
Let's head to ground level. Tim Cotton has the victorious coach, John Knight.
He's a very happy man at the moment, big smile on his face. John, best win of the season by far.
Oh yeah, by a long way, yeah. It was just sensational. The boys knew what it meant to us today to win. We knew that if we do, we're a massive chance to string a few together, and then you never know what can happen. But we also knew that we needed to come with the required effort to beat a side like BALWYN, and I think it showed that we did. We just went through our best players about a minute ago, and we just couldn't fault anyone in terms of their role. The boys on the bench didn't get a crack, but for a large part of the game. But when they did come on, they did exactly what we asked.
We thought that your back six were fantastic. Didn't really give Goebbels or Barker or Broadhurst a real chance. You must have been wrapped with them today.
Yeah, like I said before the game started, we put it up to all those boys, and to get any of them off to have a rest was just ludicrous because they were going so well. But full credit goes to our rotating midfield as well, because they pushed back and forward, and they'll be tired boys tonight, I reckon.
And to beat BALWYN, who are arguably the strongest team in the comp, must give you real confidence to be able to beat anyone from here on in for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that we needed that win to get more confidence. I mean, Norwood got over us by 4 goals as well, and they're undefeated, obviously, but I still think BALWYN and Norwood are the sides to beat, and to beat BALWYN at BALWYN by 5 goals, I think we sort of led all day, is a real credit to our boys. And in terms of belief, that's what we needed. There has been times where we've been down in the dumps a little bit and things haven't gone our way, but you know, that's what happens in footy, and I think that we can turn this into a positive and hopefully come out next week and do it again.
Look, sensational win, mate. You've got a long weekend to enjoy it, so good luck for the rest of the season as well. Well done.
Thanks, boys.
Tim Cotton down there for Akira Urgent Care with John Knight. He will be very pleased, boys. I'll tell you what, he's been under pressure. We know Noble Park have a winning culture, and today, when they were the focal point, they were the key boys, the Noble Park players make their way into the rooms underneath us to the cheers of their fans, and they've got something to be proud of today, Ray Baird.
Oh, look, they certainly have. Look, they came to play today, and it was a challenge there before the game started, but Noble Park, they certainly stepped up to it, and boy, look, they had some great players, particularly their 2 big men, Brett Dorr and Pever Wright. They just stood up in all aspects of the game, and look, and congratulations to John Knight, because at times they played the John Knight's defensive game when they had to close the game down, but then on other occasions they opened the game up and they were fantastic.
Yeah, they'll certainly be very pleased. Our Kira Urgent Care brand riders just heading into the rooms to get the song, and what will be a fairly loud one, you would have thought. A sensational win this afternoon, Noble Park 15-11, 101, defeating BALWYN 10-13, 73, just getting themselves back in amongst, well, out of 9th position at least, and they'll certainly look to build their season from here. Brasher, BALWYN, well, they're going to have to readdress some things.
Yeah, they've got something to think about for a change, Braden. You know, when you look at Vermont nearly pinched a win at SEN Park, you know, the loss to East Ringwood, things just aren't, at the moment, are just not going the way that the Tigers would like, but let's get to the rooms. Can we hear the rooms?
Yeah, we've got the Noble song now.
Cause our balls are big and round. We
nice rendition of the Noble Park song. They'll be up and about.
Probably should have asked them for the G-rated version, given that we sent the microphone in there. But
well, no, we can forgive them today because they really did put on a four-quarter performance. Probably something that's been lacking, and I think all of us, except maybe Tim Cotton, was the only one that thought Noble might get up today. Good pick from him. We just thought BALWYN with their firepower, and that's what didn't stand out today. Barker didn't really get into it. I mean, look, Barker, Hendry all kicked 2, but they were in the second half when the game was mostly over. McMahon kicked 2. Other than that, though, they really didn't get in the game. Broadhurst with it 1 as well. I just thought the back line of Noble Park was sensational, and the way they rebounded.
Oh, look, their rebound, their back six, we've said it all day. They were absolutely fantastic. But, look, just on that forward line of BALWYN, before the game, we all agreed that was where BALWYN was going to win the game. But we also agreed that Noble Park's midfield had to get on top, and they certainly did. And that's why the forward line of BALWYN didn't fire, because it was the pressure that the ruckman and the midfield of Noble Park just didn't let them.
Right, we'll go through the goal kickers now as we wait to get a few interviews from our Kira Urgent Care boundary riders. For Noble Park, the multiple goal kickers, Sam Monaghan kicked 2, as did Peter McGettigan, as did Brett Dorr and Clayton McCartney. The rest singles to Luke Bull, Will Kelly, Tim Kelly, and also Peter Wright, as well as Craig Anderson. He was sensational today, and Stuart Kemperman for BALWYN. 2 to Luke Barker, as to Charlie Hendry and Ryan McMahon. The rest singles, Ed McCutcheon, Rennick Watts, and Blake Broadhurst. In the end, BALWYN going down 10-23, Noble Park 15-11-101. And the next 6 weeks, well, even the next 4 weeks for both sides, boys, just going through the fixture, it's probably a tough one for both sides. This side, they had the week off last week, of course, and now looking forward, first of all, BALWYN, the losing side today. They follow up with Norwood next week at Mullum. That's a really tough contest. Then they take on Blackburn, who, going all right, they defeated Noble just before the bye. Then Montrose, followed by South Croydon. First of all, boys, on that's a tough run.
It is a tough, and they're certainly going to have to be a little bit better in their play than what they were today if they're going to win those games, Brash.
Most obvious statement of the year, Ray.
and Brash, looking at the Noble run, they take on Roval, East Ringwood, South Croydon and Norwood. So that's a similarly difficult run.
Yeah, but I reckon they could get 2 or 3 wins out of that, not thinking they could get over the Norwood game if Norwood are going well, but they're well capable of beating East Ringwood and South Croydon.
What did we see today before the game that we probably didn't expect to see from Norwood? For me, it was probably their pressure.
From Noble Park?
Yes, from Noble Park, sorry.
Well, their 4-quarter effort. It was a great 4-quarter effort, and they came and they played the game on their terms. And when they had to, they played that John Knight defensive style of play when they had to close the game down. But when they when they got the ball running, they played that a really exciting game that we know Noble Park can play.
Down boundary side for Akira Edging Care, Esmond Aponso.
Thanks, Rod, for that. We're just waiting till John Nutt just finishes his coach speech, and we'll try and get hold of Brett Dorr for you shortly.
Perfect, thanks, mate. We'll just continue on, and of course, good time to go to Grant Campbell with the Choose Tap stats.
Yeah, the stats streak mainly lied today because BALWYN won most categories. Noble Park did win the clearances at 53-51, but BALWYN won the centre clearances at 19-10. BALWYN had 186 kicks to 165 and 142 handballs to 111. BALWYN won the contested possessions 151-145 and the uncontested possessions 177-131. The inside 50s, they ended up winning 47-44, but got a lot of cheap ones at the end to win that stat. And the score sources were interesting. From set shots, BALWYN kicked 7 goals, Noble Park 3. From general play, BALWYN kicked 3 goals, 6, and Noble Park 12 goals, 10. My question to you guys is BALWYN, I thought they overused the ball, went wide too far. Do they have to adjust the way they play when they're behind? Because for mine, they were never going to get back into that game unless they went through the middle, and they refused to.
Yeah, good point there, Grant. I think you're right. You know, sometimes a game plan that has set you in good stead is not going to work every week, and it didn't today, and they didn't know how to react to it, and now they've got to go back to the drawing board, BALWYN, and think about it. Sides now know they're beatable. They're going to come even harder at them.
Would a big key centre half forward made a difference today? Like, no, I mean, I know they've got some big key forwards and things like that. Just someone to play that Buddy Franklin role where if things aren't going right, to work up to 60 and be a link man.
Look, not on the way they played today. I think if they had a big key centre half forward, because they weren't using the corridor. To me, look, I'll be honest with you. To me, I just felt that Noble Park were prepared to get down and get dirty, run the ball through the mud in the middle. BALWYN, they were running around that centre square and not using that corridor at all.
And I think if you're Norwood or a side that's playing BALWYN pretty soon, you want to try and force them wide because they couldn't get entries today. And I don't know, we said before the game, John Knight needs to be proactive. He can't let the game get away. He needs to make decisions. That's what Dan Zanardi needed to do today, and I thought he probably didn't make that many changes.
No, well, did he make changes, Brasher, that you noticed? Or?
No, not really. I mean, but that's because John Knight was very methodical with his matchups most days. He didn't want to. He was quite happy with the matchups that he put forward, and they all came off today. And really, the game was decided in the opening 10-12 minutes of that second quarter when Noble Park kicked the 5 goals on the run. That put BALWYN on the back foot, and BALWYN didn't recover from that.
Well, we're just waiting down Boundary side. Brett Dawes going to be ready in just a sec. Just before we go to him, boys, get ready your Trojan Player of the Day votes because we'll come to those straight after. But at the moment, we're going to head down for Akira Urgent Care. Boys, you've got Brett Dawes.
Thanks a lot for that. Yes, I've got Brett Dawes here. Brett, great win today. Only a couple of wins for the season this far and a draw. And to beat such quality opposition, it must be fantastic for the team.
Oh, it's unbelievable. We've been struggling a bit at the start of the year and just not. We've been playing in and out like patches, like 5 good minutes, and then we'll just drop away. And that just to play 4 quarters of good, solid, hard footy was just unbelievable.
Just before I throw it up to the boys upstairs, and obviously BALWYN's got fantastic Luke Bark and a lot of quality forwards. Your back six played a great game today.
Yeah, is that working?
Yeah, mate, you're
the
right.
back six just unbelievable. They've been good for the last however many years. Since I've been here for 2 years, they're unbelievable, unstoppable. I'd hate to play on our back line.
Brett Dawes, Braden Ingram upstairs, mate. I probably thought you were best on today. The amount of balls and contested marks you were able to take. I thought throughout the day, though, you guys were able to...
Esmond, if you just hand your headset over to Brett, I think we're just having a few battery issues.
Brett, we'll try again here, mate. It's Braden Ingram upstairs.
Yep.
I thought today you were best on. You took so many clunky marks, but you guys today, you really were able to push them out onto the wings. Was that a strategy to not allow them to use the centre corridor?
Yeah, it was a bit, but it's just, I think it was just our pressure. It forced them out there, like John just said, just be ruthless, and that's what we did, and I reckon that's what forced them wide in the end.
Yeah, Brett, Wayne Brasher here. Congratulations, great game today.
Thanks, mate.
Would you say that was one of your best games that you've played for Noble Park?
Yeah, probably. I'm pretty passionate, man, and just to to beat BALWYN at home, there's nothing better.
Just a couple of other things too, right? John Knight coming to the club, right? Would have had a much different game plan to what Mick Folks has, but I actually reckon today there was a little bit of Mick's old plan, right, mixed with John's defensive game plan. I reckon you played that game to an absolute T today. Would you agree?
Yeah, we did. Like, as Noble the last however many years, we're such a good attacking side. And yeah, what the game plan that Fogg has put in was unbelievable. I love that bloke. But we didn't have much of a defensive side, I didn't reckon. And for John to come in and add a bit of that, it took a while for us to, the last few games, it took a while for us to all click to that because it's so defensive. But yeah, we really showed attack today, and yeah, it all went perfect.
It's Ray Baird here, Brett. Look, congratulations. And I've been one of the club's critics this year, and I've been on your back a little bit. And before today's game, I said that you had to stand up, mate, and you certainly did. But look, I want to also mention Craig Anderson. He's been through a lot over the last couple of weeks. And look, that was Craig Anderson that I remember back when he won Chandler medals today.
Yeah, that's it. And just to play with him's an honour. I wish I had seen him a few years ago when he was, he still is unbelievable, but he just, and to win it for him today, it means a lot.
And just last one from upstairs, mate. How's the pressure been around the club? You guys are known as a winning side. I mean, for John Knight to come in that environment, have you felt the pressure being on him and really wanted to lift that off his shoulders?
Yeah, shit, yeah. It was like a big weight off the shoulders today. It's unbelievable. There's been a bit of pressure, because we're such a professional outfit and always used to winning. And to be, I think we're only won 2 games of the year. She was getting pretty tough, but it's unbelievable.
Well, mate, great to see you guys get a win today and such a sensational performance. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully speak to you come finals time later in the season.
No worries. Thanks a lot, boys. Cheers.
Brett Dawes down there for Akira Urgent Care. Well, boys, we're running out of time. BGC post-game coming up. straight after this, so we're going to jump straight into our votes. Ray Baird, are you right to go with yours, mate?
Yeah, look, I am. One vote I gave to the man I just mentioned, Craig Anderson. It was a Craig Anderson I remember, as I said, back when he was winning Chandler medals and all that. He was fantastic. He was just great, and he was one player that really used the corridor. 2 votes to Will Kelly. I just thought that he would have been a big worry to Dan Donati today, because he stepped up, he's kicked goals, he's run the ball for around the wing, and he was really terrific. And 3 votes to the man we just spoke to. Every aspect of his game today, his marking, his ruck work, his work around the ground and on ground level was fantastic. And 3 votes to the big man, Brett Dorr.
Brash?
Yeah, apologies to Anderson and Will Kelly for not squeezing them in the votes, but I gave 1 vote to Robbie Kemperman. The back line was the Rock of Gibraltar today, and Robbie Kemperman will probably arguably be Noble Park's best player all this season. Right, stepped up to the plate once again and held a dangerous Luke Barker to 2 goals. 2 votes to Pever Wright. Really impressed. Watched him. This is the first time I've seen him. He's big. He's solid. He's prepared to run. He puts his body on the line. He can move forward. He can move back, and he plays a perfect drop role. And I thought his game was sensational. And Brett Dorr couldn't go past him for the 3 votes. He was sensational. Probably the best game I've seen him play since he's played at Noble Park.
It's going to be down a pretty similar line, boys. For me, 1 today, I had to give Craig Anderson. That first half, he really got his side going. And then a little bit out in the 3rd quarter and came back in the 4th quarter when it counted. And that, you said, Brash, the Craig Anderson involved. When they needed it, when they're down, they're under pressure, he came out. 2 votes, Peter Wright. I really wanted to squeeze him in, probably to the 3, but he just got beaten out. But I tell you what, just his willingness to make contact in the centre, to put his head over the footy. He was caked in mud by the time he came off the ground. In the first half, he certainly dominated the hit out. So for me, Virgin Fake was such a good player. He has certainly replaced him. And 3 to Brett Dorr. He took, I would have said, at least 10 contested marks today, or close to it. He was sensational. Really lifted. A great game from him. So unanimously for the Trojan player of the day. Of course, he wins a Trojan toolkit. He best on with 9 votes, followed by 4 votes to Pever Wright, 2 to Will Kelly, as well as Craig Anderson, and 1 to Rob Kemperman. Well, that about does it here for EFL Game Day. It's going to be followed up by the BGC Bayswater post-game. We're going to do a review of the season so far, so make sure you stick around. But for Game Day, Grant Campbell for Chew Staps, thanks very much, mate. Did a great job today.
Thanks, and I reckon there's a few Division 1 sides, if they're out here watching today, they'll suddenly be worried about Noble Park again.
Yeah, indeed. It's certainly evened up with Ray Baird. A sensational job in special comments. Looking forward to hearing you soon.
Thanks, Damo. And it's been a pleasure to see Noble Park back to what we know they were.
I'm Damo now. I've got the voice. I'm very happy.
Sorry, Braden.
Brash. Very well done.
Thanks, Braden. Thanks.
Of course, to the rest of the team, Tim Cotton, Esmond, Aponso, thank you to you. It's been a great day. Bruce Prest again doing a sensational job as our techie. Dyson Baker again, media team. Well, of course, we'll be back after these messages with the BGC Bayswater post-game. But for now, it's been a sensational win. Noble Park 15-11-101. The upset win, possibly of the round. BALWYN 10-13-73. We'll see you after the break with the BGC Bayswater post-game.
White run? You going out?
I got dinner at my girlfriend's house, so...
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah, should be fun. Yeah. I went through 2 batteries today. He was calmed down.
On some gold. The quickest way to get around right pressure, be better. Better spec.
Had an accident on the field, head straight to Yarra urgent care for immediate medical treatment, and you won't have to wait. For a maximum of $75, we'll treat your broken bones, sprain, cut, or any other game day injury. Walk in at 157 Salisbury Road, Baronia, or call us on 9839 33. That's 9839 3333. Yarra urgent care. We have you off the sideline in no time. Station sponsor.
Radio Eastern 98.1. Barry Cott's back here in the studio. And yes, very short, we'll be going to the Bayswater post-match live from STN Park in BALWYN in just a moment. But before we do that, let's check some AFL scores. And the game played this afternoon down there in Tasmania at Aurora Stadium was between Hawthorn and the West Coast Eagles. And in the end, it was a win to Hawthorn by 44 points over the West Coast Eagles. Hawthorn 19-9, 123, have defeated the West Coast Eagles 12-7, 79. Now, major goal kickers for Hawthorn, well, Jared Roughhead kicked a record equaling 8 goals.